Welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we got a good topic for y'all today, man, or tonight. You know, I know it's a little late in the East Coast. I know I was supposed to be on at 4:30, but I was a little late, so I apologize for that, man. I was trying to get everything in order for y'all so we can have a good show. But you see the rundown. We want to get and go through some of this Isiah Thomas interview he did with Draymond Green. We're going to dissect some of the things he said and important things he said, some stuff he said about MJ. He tried to clear some things up. And then some things he said about Steph and KD that I thought is that's real good. So we're gonna do that first, man, and then get into some other things that you can see the rundown. Everybody that's coming in and joining, man, let me know where y'all from. Let me know who all up in here. Do I have my moderators in here today? DC Slim in here. Who I got for moderators in here? Yeah, let me know who up in here. Roland Curtis, there we go. There we go. Moderator in the house. Yeah. Roland Curtis, always in the house. Reliable, Mr. Reliable. Hey, this is gonna be a good one, man. Everybody call in. What's good, Big Dog from Florida? Good. Mikey Brass, another moderator in here. All right, DC Slim in the house. Oh, I think we're ready to go, man. This is gonna be a good one. Can we make any content without trying to crap on LeBron? Hey, we're not never crapping on LeBron. LeBron is one of my favorite basketball players. But, I just like basketball more than I like LeBron. So, when I talk about basketball, when I talk about any player, it's with a standard in mind, a standard of perfection as far as basketball is concerned. So I grade everything. I grade teams. I grade players. I grade situations. I grade all of that based on what perfection for the actual game and for the craft looks like. Right. So that's what I do. And I'm the loudest when it comes to the media propping up someone to be better than what they are. And, that's when I get push out and I get loud. And LeBron is one of those players that the media has put on a pedestal and put him high somewhere where he don't belong. So you get a little pushback for that. But I think if LeBron was properly placed and properly covered by the media, I think it would be very quiet around him. I think if LeBron was quiet and stopped trying, if he wasn't, from 5 years in the league, he's already saying stuff about he wants to be the GOAT, he wants to be the best, and he wants to be compared to MJ. If he wasn't saying all those things, I don't think it would be so loud around him. So the media and LeBron himself and his camp kind of created all of the noise around him. Right. So, and it's a sports channel, man. So we're going to talk about one of the biggest names very often. It's just that, the material that keeps presenting itself to us is material where we feel like we have to set the record straight on some false narratives and things like that, man. So if those things didn't exist, I probably wouldn't talk about it, but, we talk about Luka and Dallas Mavs. That's another player that I think the media is pushing on us. I was very loud about Jokic and Embiid's MVP race last year. A lot of things. We talk about a lot of things, so it ain't just LeBron. It's just, LeBron's the gift that keep on giving with how he him and his camp and his media operates. Right. So, that's the thing on that. But we'll get into it, man. We got people in here, man. This episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action with Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just find your favorite player or any player for that matter, pick higher or lower on that player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in one night. Pick between 2 or 5 players to fill your pick'em entry. Get every pick right, and you can net yourself some serious cash. Use the promo code ManDownSports, and you can get your deposit doubled up to $100. You got to check on the map to make sure your state is eligible to play Underdog Fantasy. But as soon as you do, and if your state is, go ahead and download Underdog Fantasy's app. Use the promo code ManDownSports, and you can, like I said, you can get that $100 match on your first deposit. And I would want to thank Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring Man Down Sports. All right, so I was listening to Draymond Green's interview with Isiah Thomas, and I knew right away it was going to be some good stuff because Isiah Thomas is a very talkative guy. Draymond Green is a little messy, so I knew he was going to ask the Michael Jordan question. I knew Isiah Thomas was going to answer it his best honest way, right? Not saying it was the absolute truth, but it was his truth. So he asked about the Last Dance stuff, and he asked about the walkout once Detroit got put out by the Chicago Bulls. And I thought it was noteworthy of how he responded to it. So I would play that, but I do want to say this. There's about 3 clips from this interview that I thought was really good that we're going to dissect, and then I'll open the phone lines up and let everybody call in and comment on that. But we're going to start with the Michael Jordan stuff. I knew Draymond Green's angle with this. It's Isiah Thomas. Draymond's a LeBron guy. Is he going to be able to try to, somehow bring LeBron's name up? And I don't think he did. Maybe I have to go back and listen to it, but I don't think he did. So he shocked me with that one. But, he did ask the Jordan question. He did ask the Steph question about where he stands at all-time point guards. That answer was really good. And then I was just shocked by what he said about Kevin Durant toward the end, man. So we go get all into it. But this is what he said. This was kind of a long clip that I'm gonna play, so bear with me. But this is the question to the Last Dance of Michael Jordan, and then the walkout.
Vince Carter gave up his spot. Michael Jordan, we interacted, everything else. I never knew this dude felt the way he felt until the Last Dance.
Wow, really?
I'm like, all these years, you've been standing behind a tree throwing stones and letting somebody else take the fall for it. I never knew he had dislike and anger for me. Had I known, okay, I'm a grown man. I ain't got no problem. We cut from the same place. At one point in time in my life, I used to fight really, really good. And I enjoyed it. I can't do that as well as I used to now. but we wouldn't throw hands or anything. But I'm just saying, had I known you felt that way, I definitely would have treated you differently. But I was very gracious to him, not only in Chicago, but everywhere we went. I never thought there was any type of, he, Ahmad, and I, when I stopped playing, we went out to dinner several times. So I never knew, until the Last Dance, this dude really felt this way about me. Now, some people will say, oh, Isiah, you should have known. And how could you not know? Hey, I only know how people are with me when they treat me. Mm-hmm. Like when you and I talk, it's like it's love, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you walk away and you dogging me, I don't know that. Yes. I only know how we interact. And when when he and I interacted, it was always good. So now some people will say, well, why didn't you shake his hand? Let me give you all a history lesson, okay? The champions, and I went to every NBA Finals, Boston Celtics, the LA Lakers, Philadelphia, when they were all competing, at the end of the game, they always left the court and they would let the other team celebrate. And then they would come into your locker room after the game and shake your hand and say congratulations. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, y'all find me the tape in the video that showed them shake hands at the end of their championship wins or losses. Show me the tape, show me the video where they all shaking hands, where Larry Bird and Magic Johnson shaking hands. I want to see that. Now, in the locker room, you walk out, then you come back and you shake hands and you congratulate everybody in the locker room. So when the Boston Celtics walked off the floor on us, we understood the program. Mm-hmm. And you would see afterwards, Casey Jones, Jimmy Rogers, a couple of the players, they came into our locker room and they congratulated us.
So y'all already caught it, right? Mike, what's up, Bones? But he said, how did he know how Mike felt about Zeke before the Last Dance, but Zeke didn't know? The same thing I was thinking. I thought it was a foregone conclusion. you had all the animosity between them for how they played on the court. You had all them trying to beat them up. You had all those fights on the court. You had the quote unquote freeze out in the All-Star game. Where y'all looked that up. Supposedly Isiah told everybody to freeze Michael Jordan out, not passing the ball in the All-Star game. Some people denied it, so I don't know if that's true, but that was there. Then you had the walkout from when they finally beat Detroit, and then you had supposedly Michael Jordan said he wasn't going to play on a dream team if Isiah was there. So before The Last Dance came out, all of those things happened. We all was talking about how much Mike didn't appreciate how the Pistons were, and he didn't like the Pistons, and he didn't like Isiah, all the way to the point where San Antonio made the trade with Dennis Rodman. They had to come to Jordan and Scottie Pippen and ask them, was it okay for us to sign Dennis Rodman? Can y'all hash out the beef that y'all had with Detroit? And they said yes. So I'm trying to figure out if, just like Mike said, if we knew that Mike didn't like Isiah, why the hell did he think we about to believe that he didn't know into The Last Dance? And I don't care what dinner y'all went to. We don't even know the circumstances behind it. Supposedly he went out to dinner with probably sounds like a mutual friend. Maybe he was trying to invite Isiah and have them talking and clear the air. I don't know, but we don't know the circumstances. But just because you went to dinner and he was there doesn't mean you didn't know he felt that way. But it is what it is. Maybe that's his truth. Maybe Jordan did two-face him a little bit and smile in his face, but secretly hate him. Maybe he did. Maybe Isiah was clueless after all this time that Mike didn't appreciate him or didn't like him, right? Maybe that was the fact, right? But then he got to the part about the walkout, and then he tried to make it seem like it wasn't a big deal by saying, "Oh, the Celtics did it to us." Where it don't make it not disrespectful to do it. Just because the Celtics did it to y'all doesn't mean it's not disrespectful. Why did you do it to the Bulls? Because you put the Bulls out 2-3 years in a row. And if I remember correctly, Michael Jordan went and shook hands every time he got his butt whooped. He did the sportsmanship thing. Every single time he got his butt whooped, he went up and he made sure that he let everybody know, hey, good luck in the finals or whatever the case may be. Good final, good game, whatever. And then he left. He was pissed off. You could see it on his face. He was pissed, but he swallowed his pride and he went up there and he went and gave handshakes and congratulations. So if Mike and the Bulls didn't do that to y'all, why turn around and do it to them because somebody did it to you? Like, I can see if you beat, the Celtics and then you did it to the Celtics because they did it to y'all. That makes sense. But it don't make no sense for me to do something to a whole different person or a whole different entity and say, I'm doing it to you because he did it to me, or hurt people, so I'm hurting you. Like, that don't even make sense. That's what that sound like. Hurt people. The Celtics hurt us and hurt our feelings when they did it to us, so we go hurt their feelings and do it to them. Even though the Bulls took defeat like a man 3 straight years in a row, and then they finally whooped y'all butt. I think they swept y'all and got y'all up out of there, and then you probably didn't like the way you got swept. But here's John Salley talking about this. John Salley has been asked about this on almost every interview he's been on because he's the only Detroit Piston, him and Rodman, who will actually be honest. Isiah Beer still holds a lot of animosity against Jordan and the Bulls. And then Joe Dumars just won't say anything at all, right? John Salley is the only one you can get the truth out of.
Then there was the playoff game when the Bulls beat the Pistons, and you guys just walked off before the buzzer.
Okay, so what happened is, Billy and Bill leans over and says, let's hand them the Eastern let's hand them the torch like it was handed to us. 1988, Adrian Dantley's on the foul line in the Silverdome, and all of a sudden, all the Celtics start walking through us as the guys are on the foul line. The Celtics are leaving the court. Larry Bird, Parrish, Isiah standing there, and we're just watching these guys walk off while AD is taking a foul shot. And out of the blue, Kevin McHale looks back at Isiah and says, bring the trophy back to the East, and gives him a 5 and walks through. And we're like, what in the world? You'll find it on camera. So Bill Laimbeer says, let's give them the torch like they gave us the torch. I lean over to Chuck. I get up. I said to Chuck, I said, hey, let me get back in the game. He goes, come on, Sal, you can't get any more stats than you have. I said, nah, there's some shit going down I don't want to be a part of. You need to put me back in the game. My mans and them are down there. This is how I am. I will kill you from start to the double zeros. Then I have to go back and become human. A lot of people can't transfer that. I do. I understand. It's a game I'm playing. So Chuck puts me back in. So I don't walk off because I'm on court. But we have to follow the captains. The thing that made it look bad is Isiah went this way and then Isiah like dipped around him. And it looked like he was trying to get away from Michael, the way it looked. But they stopped, they hugged Jack McCluskey because we realized this is it. This was our 3 years. It was really, it was our 3 years, our 4 years of this is it. It's over. And that's why that happened. Now, this is another thing. The second time Michael has done an interview, when they were making him do interviews, and he said, well, you can see how, they walked off court like this, classless, like they are, because they had to be trained by Phil Jackson to hate us in order to beat us. So Michael says that, and when the new Messiah says something, so let it be written, so let it be done. That's what happened. No matter what they said about us when it came out of their mouths. But then you watch the Bad Boy documentary, the 30 from 30, and Michael talks about we're the team that motivated him. We're the team that made him get up early in the morning and lift weights and stay in the gym because he realized we were the hurdle for him to get to being a champion.
All right.
So and you can go find, that was him getting interviewed by DJ Vlad. That's John Salley. He's actually got interviewed by DJ Vlad multiple times, and I can find at least 2 or 3 times where he talked about that exact same thing. 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago, he said it multiple times. He's been on Dan Patrick's show talking about it. Like he's been all over the place on interviews talking about that walkout. And he has the same story every single time. And pretty much what it was is he said that Bill Laimbeer leaned over to the bench while Adrian Dantley was shooting free throws and said, let's walk out. Let's do them like Boston did us. Right. That's John Salley saying that. So what Isiah is saying is almost like they didn't mean it as a disrespectful way. And he was also saying like, the plan was for them to go back there. Well, he didn't say their plan was that. He was saying, he was trying to imply that when you walk off, it's to give them time to do their celebration, and then you'll go and congratulate them in the locker room. What Draymond Green should have done as an interview was ask him, well, did y'all go back there and congratulate them in the locker room? And of course, the answer probably would have been no. And then the next response would have been, why not? And were y'all planning to? Because that would have nipped all of that in the bud. Like, because everything Isiah was saying was I don't know, to make MJ look bad, to make him look good, and whatever the case may be. I don't know. But, I don't sense the truth coming out of his mouth in that situation. But the rest of the interview, when he wasn't talking about Michael Jordan, was pretty smooth, and we're gonna play some stuff from there. But I will say one thing. This is a good interview for y'all to listen to. I think he mentioned he was also disgusted watching The Last Dance because of how they treated Jerry Krause. And I think at the time The Last Dance came out, Jerry Krause was deceased. So it was like, why would you even put that part in the thing? And I kind of feel him on that, and no need to kick a man while he's not here, while he's down and stuff like that. He got a family, he got a wife, and that was kind of jacked up that they booed Jerry Krause at the Ring of Honor and all that stuff, man. But Jerry Krause was I guess not liked by Phil, Mike, and Pippen. Like, they wanted to keep the game together. and continue playing. And Mike, they had just won a championship. Like, I don't know how you break up a team that just won a championship. You know, I don't understand how you have arguably the GOAT coach, arguably the GOAT Robin, and then the GOAT. You have that on your team, even though Jordan was 35, or he was 34, Pippen was 33 or 32 with a bad back, and then you got Phil. That was a little longer in the tooth, right? But dog, they won it. They won it. They didn't even go to a game 7. They won it. They just won. Like, you didn't want to pay them because I just don't understand it. Or was it personal? So to break that up and for Jordan to say, I want to play with my guy. I want to play with my Robin and Pippen, and I want to play with my coach. Just keep us together. I don't care what else you do to the squad. Just keep us together. That's what I want to do. And that's what Golden State is doing with Draymond, Clay, and Steph. But the thing is, they're not three-peating like the Bulls are. They don't have the GOAT on their team. They don't have the GOAT coach. They don't have the GOAT Robin, right? Like, so they don't have that dynamic. They're losing. They got swept last year out of there. The year before they got put out, they didn't make the playoffs. They've been in the play-in before. It's been dark years. They had that one good year where it was fueled by trying to show and prove everybody. Like, it's always one year a team can be galvanized and can do great things. And we seen it in football and basketball. We seen the year that Jimmy Johnson left the Cowboys, and he was a big piece of their success, right? He left the Cowboys, and they bring in Barry Switzer, and they still win the Super Bowl with Barry Switzer. But that was just that one year they couldn't keep it going. It's always after someone leave, the team kind of galvanizes together and say, let's show everybody that we could do it without that guy that just left. And a lot of times it worked. It worked when Switzer came in with the Cowboys. It worked when Tony Dungy left Tampa Bay and Gruden came in. And it worked with Golden State when KD left, and then they finally got healthy in Golden State. They got everything. They mustered up all the energy and it was driving them to show them that they can win without KD. But what has happened since then? They're probably not going to get back to the finals. You always get that one last hoorah. They don't have any more motivation now. They've already showed, we can do it without Kevin Durant. We can do it without Kevin Durant. They've already said that and showed that, and the media has agreed with it. Now, where's their motivation go come from now? Right? So you got to be careful that when someone leaves and the team can get it together and muster it up one last time, but you do it again after that. Let me see you do it again. Let me see you do it again. Right? Can you two-peat? Can you three-peat? Can you at least get back? Can you get back to the finals? And we're saying that Golden State can't, right? So, here's something else he was asked about.
So let me just tell you the way I think about point guards. And the Golden State Warriors, you are the point guard. You have more assists than Steph. You bring the ball up, you initiate the offense, you set the defense, you run the show. Steph comes off screens, he catches, and he shoots, and he's one of the greatest shooters ever. And what he's been able to do for this generation of play, and the way he's won with it, keyword, the way he's won with it, has been different than anybody else has ever tried to do it. I won a different way. As a point guard, I led my team, and I may be the only one who's done this as a point guard, where I've led my team in scoring and assists to back-to-back championships. I don't think Magic led his team in scoring and assists in back-to-back championships. He may have led them in assists. He may have led them in scoring. I'm the only one who's done it in both categories. Now, when I look at Steph, when he talks about the people that he's emulated, he talks about Reggie Miller, he talks about Ray Allen, he talks about, guys coming off catching and shooting. and he by far has taken it to another level. But when you talk about the point guard position, the way I was taught and the way I think of it, not today's point guard, but I would say that the Michigan State point guards, right? So Eric Snow had Allen Iverson, right? Mm-hmm. Allen Iverson was not the point guard. Eric Snow was the point guard. They'd never want to give Eric Snow the credit for being the point guard, but that's who ran the team. Mm-hmm. For the Golden State Warriors, you're the point guard, and that's okay. Now, what Steph has been able to do something at his size that no other player has ever been able to do. So he really does have his kind of own category, just like I think I have my category. But if you want to say who's the best point guards between us, it all depends on what era you want to put us in. Mm-hmm. Now, mm-hmm. I think Magic Johnson, Oscar Robertson, because of their size, they always have an advantage over me and Steph in a real basketball game, right? And Magic could score, he could run the show, and to me, he's the best to ever do it. Second best is Oscar Robertson. And I would say, in terms of the way I had to do it in my era, the little guys, don't nobody compete with me. Mm-hmm. But I would also mm-hmm. say with Steph Curry, the way he has done it, nobody could compete with him. Allen Iverson was the closest small guy to come to doing it the way Steph is doing it, but he by far is in a different category. So point guard, shooting guard, whatever you want to call them, the assist number for the point guard is always what we were like, okay, can you do this? Right? That's what you were judged on. We weren't judged on how many points we scored. We were judged on how can you help your teammates score.
So I think that's interesting because the question was, Draymond Green asked Isiah Thomas, what being a point guard, being in that fraternity, who do you see as the top 5 point guards? And he started, he took the long way to basically say, if you're not someone that is setting your team up, if you're not running the show, if you're not doing the actual point guard duties, then as a fraternity, Isiah Thomas and the old heads probably don't look at you as a point guard, which is not a bad thing. It's just saying, hey, look, man, the point guard fraternity is something different, right? You might belong to something else, right? So he's saying, I'm really not putting Steph in the category with us as point guards, right? But at the end of the day, he really don't belong in the category with shooting guards either. So he said that he might have his own category. He might be a combo guard, and maybe we should play with that a little bit and see if combo guard can be its own little thing unofficially, right? We know officially you got to have a position, point guard, shooting guard, whatever. But unofficially, can we play with this combo guard thing and see who the best combo guards is and who is a combo guard? Would it be Steph? Would it be Iverson? Would it be Kyrie? I think those are the 3 names that come off the board right away as far as combo guard. Maybe you even throw Dame Lillard in there, right? So for those combo guards who are kind of in between, they're not big enough to be a 2, but they don't play like traditional ones. Yeah, combo guard could be a thing. What would I rank Steph Curry as a combo guard? Would he be 1, 2, or 3? Honestly, even though his accolades he might have more on paper with his resume, I still would put Iverson 1 as the combo guard, and I would put Steph 2. I would put Kyrie Irving number 3. That'll be my top 3. And then maybe Pistol Pete might fit in that combo guard thing too. So he might be number 4. And number 5 would probably be that's interesting. Number 5 would be tough. Help me out. Who will be number 5? Oh yeah, Jerry West. Maybe Jerry West, but Jerry West is like a 6'4", 6'5". I mean, he's a legit 2 guard though. Man, hold on. Let me see. Let me look in the comments, man. I need y'all help, man, for a 5th one. For a combo guard, what would y'all go? Let's see. Steph Curry, special player. Let me see. Allen Iverson. Who said something about Allen Iverson? Stephen Iverson in the same category. Yeah, Allen Iverson special. Almost everyone in this area is a combo guard. Yeah, that's kind of true, man. Almost everybody. I mean, yeah, it's kind of fluid like that, man. Especially Jamal Murray for sure. But you know what I mean? For guys like Kyrie and Steph, man, they really do fit that bill as a combo guard, man. Because I mean, if you look at daggone Kyrie Irving, he posts up like he's 6'6". Like he'll go in the post and do Kobe Bryant work on you. You know, so yeah, man, they some special players. Maybe it's just them 3. Maybe Iverson, Steph, and Kyrie. I mean, I know it's more, but as far as good enough to be mentioned in the top 5, maybe they're the only 3 that's good enough to be mentioned. How about that? Can I say that? He said Kyrie's number 1. Yeah, I mean, if you just grading the player, Kyrie grades just as high as Steph grades, but you know, you got to grade both the player from what you observe with your eyes, and then you also have to grade the paper resume when you're talking about greatness or greatest. You know, if you're just talking about best, then you can go. Earl Monroe is a good one, yeah. But yeah, we're just talking about best. Oh, SGA, yeah, he's a good one as well. But when you're talking about best, you probably could grade Kyrie higher than Steph. I wouldn't be against that. What's up, Zoe? Yeah, it's a whiteout, man. But yeah, combo guards, man, that's an interesting thing. But I ain't gonna stay on that one there too long because I want to get into what he said about Kevin Durant, and this is gonna be real interesting. This one might be a little long. Okay, so he also asked him about what did he ask him about? Did he ask him about Kevin Durant? Hey, DC Slim, not yet. I'm gonna take your phone call as soon as I finish with this Kevin Durant. I'm gonna open the phone lines up. But this is what he asked about. This is when he started talking about Kevin Durant.
I'm gonna go one step further, right? You know that I've gotten to know Kevin Durant extremely well now. He's one of my favorite dudes now, right? Now I understand why Kevin Durant left OKC to come to Golden State. It had nothing to do with, you know, I don't like this guy. Kevin Durant being a savant, as smart as he is, you, Steph, Clay, moving, reading, reacting, playing, that's the way he wants to play. That's the way we all want to play. Steve Kerr, brilliant enough, and he trusts y'all enough. And key word that I'm getting ready to say, he trusts his teaching enough that he gives you the freedom to play. So therefore, you never know if Steph's gonna start in the corner, if he gonna start on the wing, if he gonna start on the box. You know, you never know. So the perfect randomness of play that Bob Knight invented, that I came up in, that I won championships at Indiana, that's the way you play, and that's makes it so difficult. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
So that's the first part of it. All right, it's another clip of it, but that's the first part of him saying now he understands why Kevin Durant left. And Kevin Durant has said this on a couple of occasions. Draymond Green has said it as well. People still don't believe it. People still believe he wanted to escape pressure and he wanted to do it. No, it was about how they played, right? It was about how they played. There's no other sophisticated offense that is out there other than at that time, Golden State, San Antonio, to to a certain extent, but they more militarized where it's not that much freedom. Like you can take wild shots. Steph can take wild shots and do wild things in the Steve Kerr. You can't do that on the Popovich. Like Kawhi Leonard he was playing in a real phone booth. Like he didn't have so much freedom. Neither did Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward we ever seen, and he only got about 10 to 12 shots a game some nights. Right? They was in a very structured military type offense, right? But it was fluent, and it was team oriented. It was sophisticated. So San Antonio had one, Golden State had one, maybe might be one more out there, but everybody else was playing trash basketball, man. Like it wasn't a lot of that out there, and including the team Kevin Durant was at. Like they was turning into, oh, maybe we can run some type of LeBron, James Harden type offense with Westbrook, because that's what they did the year that Kevin Durant got hurt, and they seen that they could run that with Westbrook, and that's when he got his MVP. And then now Kevin Durant comes back and it's like, dang, man, this dude got the ball more than I'm getting it, and I'm like a microwave type shooter and scorer. And it was game. I remember I watched ESPN and Skip Bayless would go off on Russell Westbrook because Russell Westbrook would have more shots at the end of the game than Kevin Durant. Like imagine being someone like Russ that can't shoot that well, who's supposed to be the point guard, right? Who really has to get a screen and get downhill to get his high percentage shot. Imagine that dude having 30 shots at the end of a game when they lost, and Easy Money Sniper having 22 shots. Just don't look right to me. So, I mean, he wanted to be in an offense that was really, sophisticated, where it took high IQ, which was a good offense. And that's what Isaiah's saying. I understand that now, now that I got a chance to talk to Kevin Durant.
I appreciate that history lesson. And I'll be honest with you. I can go, well, speaking of Kevin Durant, I'm happy to hear you say that, because I've known this all along, right? Like he wanted to come here. He loved the style of play. He would always say like, I just want to play basketball the right way. Like I haven't played the game of basketball the right way, and I don't know how long, and I just want to play the right way when he was coming here. And there was this whole, uproar. Draymond was recruited and this, that, and dude wanted to play the game the right way. And so in saying that, probably didn't make the right decision in leaving, because not many teams play like that. It's going to be hard to find that, although I think with Book, Book likes to play the game the right way. And so I think they're finding some of that in Phoenix. But it's never quite going to be this, because I think we do play a different brand of basketball. But before we get out of here,
wait, before you come in, let me make a bold statement here.
Yes, sir.
And I hope this don't upset you, but because I'm giving y'all a compliment. Before Kevin Durant arrived in Golden State, y'all were on the verge of and being remembered as the team that went 73-9 and lost to a Cleveland Cavalier team in the finals, 3-1. You up 3-1, and probably one of the biggest collapse in NBA Finals history from a 73-9 historical team. Kevin Durant comes that summer and really saves y'all basketball legacy. And you win 2 championships after that. And now you're the Golden State Warriors dynasty that you're going to go into the Hall of Fame on and everything else. It is cemented, because if Durant don't come that summer and you guys are remembered as the 73-9 team that lost 3-1 in the NBA Finals, all of your legacies are different. So all of you with Kevin Durant, y'all are, right? And that was a powerful moment in sport that he should be rewarded for, but also your team should be rewarded for accepting a juggernaut like that and being able to incorporate it. And what y'all did was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. So I hope that didn't hurt you in any way, but I did want to acknowledge him and y'all for that beautiful moment.
Yeah, no, it didn't hurt me at all. I've actually gone public and said before, like, yo, K coming here opened up a totally different thing. Like, you know, we were destroying everybody. The most feared action in the NBA was a Steph Curry, Draymond Green pick and roll. 2015, 2016, it was the most devastating action you can get to in the NBA during that time. Teams started figuring out how to guard it. When teams started figuring out how to guard that, you know what we did? Kevin Durant came in and was like, oh, you figured that out? All right, well, let's go see you figure this out now. We're going to get a ball to this dude. He's going to go score. And if you dare send a double team, you're only going to double off me. You're never leaving Steph. You're never leaving Clay. So if you send a double team, you're only helping off me. Well, now we got a counter to that too. You go double off of me, I'm a catch. And if I'm not shooting, I'm handing off to one of these guys and they shooting your eyeball off. And so we came up with counters to all of that.
Shout out to Isiah for coming in and speaking up for Kevin Durant when he gets dumped on a lot by the media, man. This dude right now, he's not as old as LeBron, but he's right behind him, and he's just doing phenomenal things just as much as LeBron. Nobody's talking about it. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. He just get a bad rap, and shout out to Isiah for coming out and saying it. And I think a lot of people already knew that. Like for me, and even Draymond even admitted it. This is his second time publicly admitting it. He admitted it last year or the year before last on his podcast. He said that teams figured us out. Now, this is probably something he didn't want to admit before they won the championship because they was trying, not publicly, but secretly, that's what they was talking about. We need to prove to everyone that we can do it without Kevin Durant, because if we don't, that's going to be our legacy. That's going to be our story. Kevin Durant came in and saved us, right? So that was driven by that. And Curry was driven by, I need to finally get to the finals, win, and then get MVP as well, because I've got 3 rings and I ain't got an MVP yet. Iguodala got it, and Kevin Durant got it 2 times in a row. So that's why he was crying after that 4th one when they beat Boston. He was crying, and he didn't cry on none of the first 3. He was crying on that one. That one felt really good to him. I know I played well. He played lights out. He didn't have Kevin Durant. He finally got one. I think that one must have felt like the one that he got, or the one that Kobe got, the first one without Shaq. Right? That's probably what that felt like to Steph Curry. It validated him a little bit, right? So, but what we all know and what Draymond admitted after that, now because we done proved to everybody we can do it, now I can come out and tell everybody, listen, this is what we was fearing. When Kevin Durant showed up, he saved us because we knew we knew teams figured us out. We knew we wasn't going to beat the LeBron-led Cavs anymore. And we probably wasn't even going to get past OKC again, because we barely got back from a 3-1 lead, a 3-1 deficit, and beat them. That's probably not going to happen again. So if Kevin Durant would have stayed in OKC, added another piece, I don't think Golden State gets by them, right? Or if Kevin Durant would have chose to go to the Spurs or chose to go play with the Rockets with James Harden, I don't think Golden State, I think they're done, right? Because they didn't have faith in Harrison Barnes anymore. They let him go. They let go a couple of other people. So I don't know what they would have ended up doing, but I know Draymond Green probably would have never got a max contract again. Neither would Clay probably. And maybe those teams probably broke up. Who knows? Kevin Durant showing up saved the hell out of their legacy, and they know it, right? And everybody needs to actually start speaking that way, because that's exactly what happened. He saved them. They are, Steph Curry is a player with 1 ring if Kevin Durant never shows up. That 1 ring he got, that was gonna be it. Kevin Durant came in and breathed new life in them, and then the rest is history, man. So I think that's all I wanted to say on the interview, man. It was a good interview. I'm gonna open the phone lines up, man. We got 3 segments not 3 segments, but 3 conversations that they had that we can speak about. You can call in. You can come talk to me about the Kevin Durant piece, or the Steph Curry and the combo guard piece, or you can talk about the Michael Jordan and Isiah claiming that he didn't know Michael Jordan didn't like him until he watched The Last Dance. DC Slim, man, you always the first caller. What's up, brother?
Hey, Man Down Sports, man, this is my favorite show, man. It's the greatest show on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm tapping in on the regular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and get on this Jordan Isiah Thomas thing. I know people ain't going to like what I'm saying because, you know, they love Jordan. But before I make my point, I want to make this clear. Jordan, you got two different kinds of Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron fans. You got people that like them, cool with them, love their game, appreciate them. And then you got people who worship them, who are extreme fans, all right? So it's two different ones. I just want people to understand where I'm going with this, all right? So on this Isiah Thomas and Jordan thing, look, man, Jordan petty, dog, okay? Can somebody be petty and still be good at basketball? Is it okay for us to just say that? Michael Jordan controls the narrative. Everybody keep going off The Last Dance. He produced the joint. You understand what I'm saying? That's like me giving myself a nickname. I can't. Okay, look. If you Jordan, like John Salley said, the Messiah. See, all of the older people, man, they keep. It's like. I said it in the chat. I think the extreme Jordan fans killing the sport, though. You know, it's like when you look in the comments, nobody even talk about basketball no more. It's just complain. I'm trying to figure out what is everybody here for? Do you even watch any new basketball?
Listen, DC. I mean, you make a good point, right? I think fandom, or not fandom, you can be a fan of the sport, but being a man fan, being a fan of the men that play, being a fan of players more than the actual sport, I think that kind of bothers me, and that's why I did that poll. I don't know if you took took
that's
that
why
poll.
I said it.
Yeah, over 5,000 people voted.
I said it.
Right, over 5,000 people voted on that poll, and I'm asking, do y'all like the NBA? Do y'all like actual basketball and the craft, or do y'all like Jordan or LeBron? And people was voting for Jordan left and right. As much as I think Jordan is the best player I ever seen, there's no way I like Jordan more than I like the craft itself. I don't study Jordan. I study the craft. Now, if I happen to study Jordan, it's because he perfected his craft to the the best you can perfect something. Not 100% perfected, but the best I've seen someone get their game is what Michael Jordan is. But that don't mean I like him more than the craft. That makes sense.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you, look, bro, that is the reason why this sport is going down, because everybody keep waiting for Jesus to come back. You understand? This game ain't never gonna be the same like it used to be in '93. So get over it, dog. I'm 48 years old. It took me a few years to realize that I can't just keep coming over here thinking Steph Curry gonna play like AI. I can't even compare LeBron James to Kobe Bryant. These are different eras. And as far as what Isiah Thomas is saying, dog, think Detroit, man, I'm tired of people dogging them out like they so wrong. Jordan them ain't never shake hands with people, man.
Yeah, they did. They did. Well, hold on real quick. Derek Perry, hey, shout out to the Aggies, big dog. Hey, I'm glad you noticed that. Yeah, shout out. Thanks for the super chat. So go ahead.
But either way, man, at the end of the day, look, I'm here for the sports, fellas. I don't really like to get into debates. I don't want to do no name calling with people. And see, the reason why we can say Jordan is safe, and I'm going to end it with this, and I hope everybody pay attention to this. You didn't have social media a long time ago when Jordan was playing, so you couldn't expose him like you can expose everybody else now. Now, it is easy to just say anybody. Look, I don't like LeBron James, but I don't care if he's on steroids. You know why? Because I know 70% of the league takes steroids. It's legal steroids in the league. So that means you don't care about the sport if you just here for the steroids. Are we just here to just assassinate LeBron's character all the time? Because I'm not a fan of him. But I'm not just here to dog him all the time. And I think Isiah got a point. Look, man, Isiah can be mad. If he don't like this dude, he don't like this dude. We not allowed. We don't know nothing personal about them. I just think, man, some people taking this sport way too personal, man. They getting emotional. They becoming super journalists, man. They know everything, and nobody Googles anything. We got a lot of stupid people with smartphones. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everybody got an opinion. And my father used to tell me, man, and I told you already, it ain't what you feel, man. It's the facts. Hey, I love the show. I'm going to let the callers get in. Man Down Sports, #1 show on motherfucking YouTube. Be easy.
All right, DC. Appreciate it, bro.
Peace.
All right, phone lines open. Hey, if y'all watching and it's live and someone's on the phone, you probably go get straight voicemail. Caller from DC, what's up? Make sure you cut YouTube off so I don't hear echo.
Yo, what up, man? Down Sports, this Josh calling, man. Great show tonight, man. Thanks for having me on.
Man, what's up, big dog? Thanks for calling.
Of course, man. Of course. So I wanted to say this about KD, man. You said it right at the end of what you were talking about, how the media dumps on KD a lot. And I agree. You know, looking at the media right now, they're campaigning for LeBron to get a statue in LA, right?
Yikes.
But by that logic, I'm like, Golden State should give KD a statue. You know what I mean? Like, they act like KD going to Golden State was just nothing. You know what I'm saying? They almost three-peated if it wasn't for injuries. You know, so KD was an essential piece to that Golden State mob. But I do agree with what Isiah Thomas was saying about that. I don't know why KD doesn't get his just due, but he just doesn't. When it comes to Isiah Thomas saying he ain't no Mike hated him, I mean, I don't know, man. You think about it. Look.
No, come on, Josh.
Mike,
come on, Josh. Come on now. Come on, man. Seriously, we knew that, right? Before the Last Dance, did we not know that? Was you shocked when you heard Michael Jordan say he was an a-hole and he didn't care for him?
I wasn't, but I'm gonna tell you something. In 2003, whatever Mike's last All-Star game with the Wizards, it's a picture of him and Isiah shaking hands. So I'm like, was that media or did Isiah? Because some of these guys be oblivious. I know there's a lot of these guys in media and TV. They are truly oblivious to a lot of stuff. So he could be possibly telling the truth, but I knew Mike ain't like that nigga.
yeah, for sure, man. Like, do you think Mike is the type of person that you would compete against and you would have rules to defend him that actually went outside of the NBA rules? Like, I'm fouling you to hurt you, right? And we're in heated battles like that. Do you take Mike as the type of person that would ever forgive something like that? Like, he don't even talk to Barkley anymore because Barkley criticized his GM skills. That relationship's done.
Barkley made up or something recently.
Maybe they did. I hope they did.
But no, I agree with you. And certain things that Isiah has said in the past, like he said, I think he said he had Mike folks living with him at a certain point, and Isiah had his folks showing Mike keeping him safe in Chicago. So if you're doing that, you get a feel for people's personality. So you can kind of tell, like, man, I don't know, we kind of treated Mike dirty. He might not, mess with us after this. So, I think he's being, slightly disingenuous when he says that.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, but no, that's all I wanted to say, man. I'm going to go back to listening, man. Thanks for taking my call, big dog.
All right, thanks.
Nah.
Yep. Thanks for the super chat, Ryan Waters, $5. Jordan brought the casual fan to the game. Did he bring the casual fan? That's tough. I don't know about the casual fan. My wife watched the 90 Bulls because of Jordan the whole game. She only know LeBron from pop culture. Okay, that makes sense. Caller, what's up? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Pittsburgh, man. Me once again, 33 Sugi. I just want to speak on the whole Isiah Thomas thing. Number one with KD. I think that anybody who watches hoops, you know what I'm saying, when they see KD on the Golden State Warriors, before we get to the fact that it was a whole non-competitive move that kind of killed the competition in the NBA, it was beautiful basketball. And being one of the voters on your poll that voted for the craft, I'm a fan of the people that I feel like put the craft to another level when you watch them play. So that's how sometimes, like, a real hoops fan can become a fan of the man who played the game, right?
Right.
Like, but when KD joined the Warriors, that was some beautiful basketball because,
it definitely was.
They like everybody who said that was right. It was like playing basketball the right way. That's what it looked like. When you see those guys moving and flowing and being able to let anybody in the game take over like that and just have the ball constantly moving and having everybody on the floor be a threat.
Oh man, beautiful basketball. And they played defense. People don't remember how good that defense was.
Yeah, for sure. There's a hell of a defensive team as well.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you know, LeBron started it with the whole Big Three Heat thing, and then once Kevin Durant did that, like, I think that the fact that the Golden State Warriors were already seen as a certain type of team, a certain level of expertise that they brought to the court, and then having somebody who's unanimously a top 3, top 5 player in the league at that point join that team, that just left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. Like, KD brought something to that team that they didn't have before, for sure. But at the same time, as a fan, I want to see the best players compete against each other. Like that just looked like a 2K team with trade override turned on to a certain extent, like in real life.
I mean, you can say that. What it really was a very good 1-2 punch of Steph and KD with very, very good role players and Draymond. Well, I wouldn't say Clay was a role player. I would include Clay as a perennial all-star, but you know, Iguodala was he's a
number 2.5. He's like 2.5.
Yeah,
he's almost like in that sense, he's almost a third option candidate. But the way that people looked at Klay Thompson back then, we're looking at him as his career is winding down. We have a more full perspective. But at that time, Klay Thompson was a damn star in the league, bro. He was
a star. But was we right about that though? Was he legit a star, or was we fooled a little bit? You think he's a legit number 2?
When you watch his peak, he was definitely one of the best number 2s in the league. So I think, you know, injuries catch up with people, you know, and Klay's never been like a super duper athletic player. Yeah. But once he lost that athleticism through them repeated injuries, it's like, but at that time, Klay Thompson was definitely one of those guys in the league that was like, I wonder what happened if he had his own team. Would he be able to hold that down? There was a moment there. Yeah. So when you see Kevin Durant join that 1-2 punch that already existed, along with Draymond being the utility guy with the good coaching, it was kind of a 2K move in a little bit, but it was still like just being objective and taking all the narrative and the hate out of it. It was still some beautiful basketball to watch.
I agree with that. Yep.
That's all I wanted to say, brother, man. Keep up the good work. I love this show, man. I'm going to keep on tuning in. I'm going to keep on calling in, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks, man.
Peace.
All right.
Pretty good work. I love this show.
Caller from Tennessee, cut YouTube also. I can hear the echo in the background.
All right.
Cut YouTube off.
I'll put it down right there.
All right. What's up, man? What's your name?
Trill.
What's up, Trill? Did you call here before?
No. This is my first time.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. What's up, big dog?
I'm calling about the Isiah thing.
All right, let's go.
I mean, this is my perspective on all the KD thing. I mean, KD did kind of save the Warriors, but I think people over exaggerate on the Warriors being the greatest team of all time.
I'm with you on that.
And I believe they did that in the NBA to put a narrative out there. So this is one of the reasons why you can compare LeBron against Michael Jordan.
That's possible. Well, this how I look at that greatest team of all time, right? When you grade the greatest teams, you go grade all the champions from that season. So how many seasons have we had? 77, 78 seasons. So it's at least 78 teams better than that Golden State Warriors team that won 73 games. Right? You can't be better than a team that won a finals. Is impossible. Now, can you say that there was one of the best regular season teams by record? You can say that, but when you look at what they did in the playoffs, man, like the best playoff teams we've seen, I think we've seen the Lakers go undefeated all the way to the finals. They lost one game, the game 1 against Philly. And
two Lakers.
Imagine sweeping everyone all the way to the finals. That's one of the best playoffs teams we've seen. Now, that Golden State Warriors team that won 73 games, they was losing games left and right. They was down 3-1 to OKC. So they was losing games left. They had already lost more games than the Lakers did in the first and second round. They had already really in the first round. So no, they're not the best team we've ever seen. They just have the best regular season record we've ever seen. That team was not all that great.
I mean, if you sit back and think about it, the team only has one defender.
Well, Iguodala and Draymond, they had two, and Clay. Clay's a good defender. And they had shot blockers at the rim with Andrew Bogut and I think they had about Azealia as well.
Not to cut you off.
No, you go.
The thing about Clay is, who could he really guard as a superstar at his position? Yeah, you can guard the average person you playing every night, and you can look good. But if I told you he had to guard Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Reggie Miller, all in their prime, could he? They'll have a field day on him.
He probably could guard Wade a little bit. Jordan giving everybody work though.
Yeah, Jordan is the GOAT.
Yeah, he giving everybody work.
I just think that team, because if you sit back and look at the team, even with KD, there's only two superstars on the team. Yeah,
I agree with that. Steph and KD were the only superstars. Clay is not a superstar, but if a person wanted to argue with me that Clay was a superstar, I probably wouldn't argue with him. I mean, he was really good, but
yeah, he was definitely good. I'm not saying that he was a bad player, but the thing about it is, there's good players and there's great players, and a lot of people it's easy to get an award if you play with Jordan your whole career, or if you play with a Steph Curry your whole career.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, it's going to be at least two players at all times watching Steph Curry.
Yeah, you can say that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I'm not, that's nor here nor there. And another thing I want to touch on is Isiah Thomas.
Okay.
I think he is one of the dirtiest people in the game. No,
hey, so look, there are stories that make Isiah look bad, but there's also something that make him look really good, man. So he's a real complicated individual, man. Very complicated. Yeah. Like how? First of all, how do you dislike this dude? He's always smiling. He's always soft spoken. It's hard to dislike Isiah, man. You get what I'm saying? Like
that's true. That is
true. He's like Jay-Z, man. I know you the devil, but right. Dang, man, you good people.
And I agree with that. But I was watching something on YouTube because I'm a big YouTube fan.
Yeah. And
Carmelo was talking about some stuff he did in 2000, like in 2002, or in the 2000s when Carmelo was at the Knicks.
And they was ready to kick him out the league, and Isiah made a phone call.
Yeah, no, when Isiah, they was beating this team that he was coaching against. Well, Isiah was coaching for, and they was beating him real bad. And he told Carmelo, basically, if y'all let y'all drive through the lane one more time. And he had one of his players basically, push him and try to hurt him.
Right.
And I'm like, Isiah, you can say you wasn't doing it, everybody was doing it in the 80s, but why are you still was trying to do it when you was coaching?
No, okay.
You see what I'm saying? I guess he grew up in that type of brand of basketball.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but that's not basketball. You was intentionally out there trying to hurt people.
Yeah, they were. You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I appreciate the call. I got to move because I got to get.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get two more. Thanks for calling. I'm gonna try to get two more calls in here. I'm gonna move to the next topic, man. But you definitely can call back on the next segment for sure. All right, I'm gonna get two more calls. Caller from Minnesota. Make sure YouTube is off. What's your name?
Mickey.
What's up, Mickey? Real quick, let me read this super chat. Thanks, Shay J, for the super chat. Fans miss some things about why Isiah hates MJ. MJ stole his best friend Magic. Oh, yeah. I hope it ain't that. I hope it's just the dream team thing, man. I hope that's what it is. But Mickey, what's going on, big dog?
I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
For me, we were talking about when you were talking about combo guards and stuff like.
Yeah.
For me, a combo guard is like a guard who can play shooting and point,
right?
Like AI, Wade, Donovan Mitchell, Steph.
Yeah.
But then there's also a scoring point guard like Gilbert,
Marbury,
D-Rose, Kyrie, Marbury. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to say that, and let me know what you think about that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but would it be real hard for us? Which one would be harder to try to establish two unofficial things, or just put all of them together? Like, just call all of them combo guards, because Marbury definitely could play 1 and 2. He could play on ball and off ball. They got that skill set. Same with Kyrie. So would we call all of them combo guards, or would we have to would it be easy to have 2 separate categories?
I don't think there's 3. I think there's the traditional point,
right?
There's the scoring,
right?
And then there's the combo. Because I like Gilbert he ain't gonna be the combo. He ain't gonna pass. He ain't gonna pass. So,
oh man.
I think there's a scoring like D-Rose. He can put up points, but D-Rose is not really known as this guy. Same with BD.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad you said D-Rose. I forgot about that. That was the 5th name I was looking for.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I think like Steph, Donovan Mitchell, even Wade were like, they're going to do whatever it takes, like, okay, you want me to score today? I'll give you buckets. You want me to assist, So I think there's 3. I think that's just my opinion. I just wanted to know what you thought about it.
Yeah, I think that's something to think about, man. I mean, who knows, man? Maybe one day the combo guard might be one of those. I mean, because we don't know what we're doing with the NBA anyway. They talking about position lists and they talking about this and that. We don't know. They don't went from hell, man. Let's do the first team, second team without positions, or So we don't know what we're doing in the NBA. But maybe one day they might identify a combo guard as a new position. Who knows?
Let me ask you this. Also, I seen, this is off subject by the way, but Isiah Thomas was trying to get back in the league recently.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the death of the small point guard? Do you think that era is over?
I don't think the era is over, but having a small point guard as your starter is gonna be tough. It was already tough to have a small point guard as your starter back in the day. Like, I mean, we think about what Mighty Mouse was, Damon Stoudemire. I mean, he's just as good as some of these guards now. But do you want that to be your starter, or do you want him to be somebody to come off your bench? They could do that thing. Somebody that you ain't even got to play, depending on what the matchup is, right? So that I like. That's why Van Vliet was so good in Toronto coming off the bench. But now where is he at? He's somewhere in Houston starting. I ain't heard his name in 2 months.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But when he was coming off the bench, he was hell. So if
you think there's room for, not because you're off, but there's room for, like, because I'm thinking the league is gonna go 6. What is Lonzo and his brother? They like 6'7", 6'6".
Yeah, both of them.
That might be the standard point, because it's hard for me to see small guards like that anymore.
Yeah,
unless you have something freakishly crazy about, and even Nate Robinson with his jumping ability, even that may not do it no more. Well,
the way they play the game now, there's only so many teams that's going to exploit a small guard anyway. Like, you might have a matchup where Luka, because what they're doing now is they're spreading the floor, and whoever the worst defender is, whether it's a big guy or a very small guy, they're just bringing them up to set screens to force them to switch and have to defend their best player. So that's all they're really doing. But how many teams got a guy that's a immediate mismatch that actually run that high screen and roll offense? I know Dallas got, Kyrie and Luka that does it, but not everybody play that way. So I mean, you can still get away with it. I don't think it's over. If you can hoop, you can hoop. So hopefully it ain't over, man, because there's a lot of 5'9" dudes, 6 foot dudes out there that can hoop that need to find teams. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I just want to pick your brain.
Yeah. Appreciate the call though.
No problem.
Yep.
Stay.
All right. That's it for the phone calls on that first segment, man. Let's go. Let's move to the big topic, man. What Dr. J said. So Dr. J has been on record multiple times, right? Talking about his. So Dr. J has a when he do his all-time greats and his GOAT list and stuff like that, he breaks it down in 2 teams, my first 5 and my second 5. And every time he does a interview and he talk about his first 5 and his second 5, he don't never have LeBron on there or KD or none of those guys or Steph. Got a lot of old school guys on there. He got Oscar there. He got Magic, of course. Mike didn't make his first team. Mike was on his second team. You get what I'm saying? So that's how Dr. J do his list. However, I wanted to talk about what his reasoning behind why he don't hold LeBron James in high regard. But let's just play what he said.
Well, you look at LeBron and anybody he sort of picks with him to be playing with so many guys. He's the guy who has led the charge in terms of super teams being put together. Yeah. When he put together a team in Miami, basically put together a team together in Cleveland as well, and put together a team in Los Angeles or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he could pick his own team. I ain't gonna pick his team. Yeah. I ain't saying nothing bad about LeBron.
Yeah, I'm not saying LeBron would argue, because I know he probably come back to me, but he will argue that these super teams always existed. If you look at all the championship teams, they've always had 2, 3, or even sometimes 4 All-Stars.
Players weren't picking their own teams.
Thank you.
Like when Kareem got traded for 4 players from Milwaukee to Los Angeles, that was management's deal. That wasn't his deal. And when he and Magic and Worthy got together, they got together because they traded for Kareem. They drafted Magic the next year. They already had Worthy, Paul Wilkes, or whatever. So so they were a super team. And when we swept them in '83, though,
you ain't gonna let that go, Dr. J.
All right, so let's get into that. First of all, Ron Waters, thanks for the super chat. Zeke was the beloved player out of Chicago in the 80s until Michael Jordan was drafted by the Bulls. Then his run with the Pistons soured a lot of Chicago fans. Yeah, he did feel like his own city turned against him, man, because they was loving the dude that he was fighting against, for titles and stuff like that, man. So I mean, MJ came in, stole the NBA from Detroit because it was Detroit's turn. They waited their turn. The Lakers and the Celtics had their run, and then Magic and Bird was toward their end. So Isiah finally beat them and got his 2 rings, almost 3-peated. So he felt like the league is mine. The league is Detroit's. We're going to be the next dynasty to run this thing for another 8 to 10 years, like Boston did, or like the Lakers did. But MJ came in and took that right from under his feet. And I think Isiah felt like that it wasn't just MJ that did it. It was also the NBA that was saying, Detroit, your time is done, because they changed the rules, didn't allow them to play Detroit basketball, and they felt like that they was catering to Michael Jordan. So he got a lot of animosity. But back to LeBron James and Dr. J, he's saying, basically, look, man, I don't respect him stacking the deck. I don't respect him stacking his teams. I don't respect a person that's supposed to be sitting at the table with the greats like Mike, Bird, Dr. J, Kareem, Magic. You're supposed to be sitting at that table, and for the guys who sitting at that table, they followed a certain standard. So we go talk about what that standard is and how LeBron James kind of changed that standard, right? And why old heads like Dr. J don't really respect it. So the standard I'm talking about is basically kind of what I was talking about with Isiah and Magic and Bird. You come in, your team drafts you, they build around you, and y'all become a great team. And then now this team is ready to go out to battle and fight for rings and see how many you can win and compete against the best players that are in your era, that are in your age range. You compete against those guys, and at the end of the day, we go find out who the best is. Because if my team that they built around me beat your team that they built around you, I get bragging rights, right? So that was the standard, right? Now, as far as another great player joining you, it was done a certain way. Like, say, for instance, when Bill Walton came and joined the Celtics, Bill Walton won MVP in Portland one time. But Bill Walton was very injury prone, And once you all beat up and you're not a superstar anymore, you're not in your prime anymore, and you close to retirement, what you do is, you know what? I'm going to take a lesser role because I can't carry a team anymore. So I'm going to go, I want to at least compete for a championship. I go join the Boston Celtics then, because at that point, what you really did is you tried to do it the traditional way. You tried to follow the standard. You tried to follow the blueprint. But following the blueprint, if you're not able to win by following the blueprint, that puts you in your proper place. And then you find out, well, dang, maybe I'm not as good as Larry Bird and Magic. So that makes it clear to us and fans and medias that, oh, Bill Walton ain't like Bird and Magic because he couldn't win. It makes it obvious. It don't muddy the waters. It's obvious that Bill Walton's not good as Bird and Magic because he couldn't get it done in Portland. So toward the end of his career, he joined Boston, but that don't make Boston a super team because Bill Walton was past his prime. He wasn't it no more. He just wanted to see what it feel like to win a championship. And that was the norm. That's what the Boston Big Three did with Garnett, Ray Allen, and Pierce. They tried. Pierce tried it with Antoine Walker. He tried it the conventional way. He wasn't good enough. Ray Allen tried it in Milwaukee, Seattle. He wasn't good enough. Garnett tried it by himself in Minnesota. He had Latrell Sprewell and Sam Cassell. They built a team around him that was ready to battle. He wasn't good enough to get over the hump, right? So when you at the end of your run, and you be like, I got a little bit of prime left. Let me see what I can do. So they joined the super team, but their window was so small because they was toward the end of their career, right? So everyone still respects that because you tried it. You tried, you failed, and now we can clearly see it's easy for me to say Tim Duncan is better than Garnett because they both tried it with them building a team around them. Tim Duncan was able to do it. Garnett wasn't. So it's clear Tim Duncan is better than Garnett. It doesn't muddy the waters, right? Same thing. Michael Jordan waited his turn. He couldn't get past the Celtics, couldn't get past the Lakers, couldn't get past Detroit, but he kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. And then eventually he got past him and that was his turn. And then he went out and won more than Magic, Bird, and Isiah. So now it's clear. Hey, they all did it the same exact way. They followed the same standard. Michael did it. He got 6. He got 2 3-peats. He did it a phenomenal way. It's very clear who the top dog is. It was very clear to Magic. It was very, very clear to Bird. And it was damn sure very clear to Isiah because he's still salty about it, right? So that's the way, that was the standard that they set. They all followed their blueprint. Kobe wanted to follow the blueprint of the old guys too. He studied the history. That's why he knew when he kept hearing people say he's the number 2 behind Shaq, he knew he could never sit at the table with Bird, Magic, and Mike if he played with Shaq his whole career. So he did something totally opposite of what LeBron did. Instead of him saying, let me go find a Shaq-like player to play with, he said, get this dude away from me. Let me play, but let me figure it out by myself because I want to prove to people I can go sit at this table with Dr. J, Bird, Magic, and MJ and Isiah. I want to sit at that table. So he said, get Shaq away from me. We already 3-peated. That's cool. Let me show you I can do it by myself. And he went to 3 straight finals and went back and won back-to-back. So he showed us, right? He got drafted with Shaq, so it was hard for us to see it at first. It was hard for some people to see it. I could see it, but he had to prove it, and he proved it. Now he gets to sit and at the table with MJ and the guys that he idolized growing up. He earned it. Now, that was the standard. Who changed it? LeBron did. For all the players that are on the level of Bird, Magic, Dr. J, Kobe, MJ, for all of those players, Wade and LeBron both was on that level. They both was in the East. We both wanted to see which one of them was the best. They were supposed to compete with each other. They came in the same draft. They came in the same draft with Carmelo. You got 3 guys, Melo, Wade, and LeBron, and you can add Bosh. You got those guys who are all number 1s who was carrying a franchise. Same draft. They were supposed to be battling each other, and that was going to make it clear who was the best. Garnett didn't go join Duncan to win. They battled. And fair and square, we figured out that Tim Duncan was better because Garnett didn't cheat the game. He didn't cheat the system, right? LeBron created a new standard. The standard that Bird, Magic, Kobe, MJ, Dr. J, the standard that they followed, LeBron didn't follow, Wade didn't follow it. They joined each other. They were supposed to be competing against each other, but they joined each other. That broke the mold. They made a new standard. So this is how I look at it. The table that Bird, Magic, MJ, and Kobe and Dr. J is sitting at, Kevin Durant, D Wade, Chris Bosh, Steph Curry, and LeBron James. None of them can go sit at that table with the guys who followed the blueprint that they followed. They got their own table, a table full of deck stackers, a table full of people who stacked the deck with players they were supposed to compete against, so we can clearly see who was the best. We don't know who's the best between KD, Steph, LeBron, Wade, Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony. We don't know because they joined each other and played with each other. They didn't battle each other long enough for us to clearly see who was the best. They didn't do it. They made it hard for us. They muddied the waters, right? So yeah, LeBron can be a king sitting at the head of the table of the deck stackers, because out of all the deck stackers, he stacked the deck the best. He stacked the deck on 3 separate teams. No one has stacked the deck like LeBron. So for the deck stackers, yes, he can be the chief. He can wear the crown, but he's not invited to the table with Kobe, MJ, Magic, Bird, Dr. J. He's not over there, right? And that's what Dr. J is talking about when he picks 10 players and don't have LeBron in that top 10. He picks 2 teams, 5-man teams, and LeBron is not even touching it, because it's hard to respect stacking the decks, and it's hard to see clearly who the best is in your era when y'all stack the deck, right? So I wanted to say that's just a new standard. That's a new standard, right? And what LeBron is doing to trick us is him and his team are so crafty. They're so they're so concerned about this GOAT thing. LeBron has been concerned about the GOAT thing for a long time, to the point where they sat down and they probably have mapped out analytically what it would take for him to be the GOAT. And I want to say years back, they probably figured out, if you play this many years and average this many points, you can get Kareem's record. I think they already figured that out. They already figured out, if you play this many years, you'll have this many rebounds. You'll be top 5 in rebounds, assists, steals, and you'll have Kareem's record. And analytically, you'll be the GOAT. So they've mapped out, instead of him saying, I want to be the better player, I want to be a better player than Kobe and Mike, he said, I don't think I can reach that level of play, and I don't think I can get 6 rings, but I can get this GOAT title by analytics and by controlling the narrative in the media. So that's where their efforts has been at. And when you look at how LeBron plays the game and how he sets up his teams, you can tell it's 2 things going on. It's two agendas going on the LeBron-led team. The first agenda is he's going to play to get his numbers. But he knows that if he's just getting numbers and not winning, people are going to call it out. So what he does is he stacks his teams so well that the winning will come. So he's not really driving the force for the wins. It's the team he's putting around him that's playing winning basketball, and he's playing LeBron basketball. He's playing for his stats, while everyone around him is in charge of getting the wins for him. And we can't even see that that's what's going on. We can't see that he's stacking his teams to get the wins. That's why he needs trades, mid-season trades, off-season trades, player movement, coaches fire. He needs all these things to happen because he's trying to find the right pieces to go get the wins for him while he go get the stats. Because in his mind, they sat down analytically, and I think Luka is doing the same thing in Dallas. Analytically, they sat down and said, if we get these numbers, we just need these averages for this many amount of years, and we'll have that record, and that'll make us the GOAT. That's what they're going for. They know they can't get 6 rings, but he's not in charge of getting the wins. His teammates are. Make my team so good that they can go get a win despite me going to go get my stats. And that's what you see going on right there. And with that, I end it and open the phone lines up, and I'll let y'all call in and let me know what y'all think. Stacking the teams, you would not take Kevin Love before you take Rodman. It depends on what team I got. If I got a team ran by LeBron who needs the floor to be spaced so he can high screen and roll and pass it to catch and shoot players, how the heck Rodman go fit in that offense? How is LeBron has played with a Rodman like player before. He was in Cleveland and they went and got Ben Wallace from Detroit, and he was almost unplayable with LeBron. So yes, if I'm LeBron, I definitely take Kevin Love over Dennis Rodman, because Dennis Rodman don't fit in what I want to do. He don't fit in my system. How am I gonna have the floor spacing with Rodman on the floor? Come on, man. You got to know a little bit of basketball before you come out here. It's gonna be real hard for you to deal. Caller from North Carolina, what's up?
What's up, big guy?
What's up, man?
What's up? I'm just watching your show again. I like how you do your thing. You got one of the best shows on YouTube. I wanted to comment on the doctor something that Dr. J mentioned, and something you said earlier. When I think when LeBron James switched over and went to Cleveland, and made that decision when he made the decision to go to the Miami Heat, to me, as a basketball player, I think that's like an admission, for one, that's an admission of him saying it's hard to stay here in one spot and win that championship. I think in his mind, when he said not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, when he was saying all that, that show you his mind state, thinking that if he would join up with these super teams, that he would win multiple championships, that it would be easier for him to do it. Just to find out that it's hard, even with a super team, it's hard to win.
Yeah.
People were saying things about the craft that you mentioned earlier. You said being a fan versus the craft. I heard Slim say things about Jordan and whatnot, but to me, I think that's why we like Jordan, because Jordan kind of perfected the craft of basketball. Part of what I mean by the craft is getting players in foul trouble, how they use the foul trouble situation. Like on a 3-on-1 fast break, how these players kick everything out to the wing rather than, let's say if Steph Curry's back there defending by himself against a 3-on-1 fast break, you kick out on the wing, then you don't put Curry in a situation where he have to make the situation of foul go into the hoop. Things of that nature. That's what's missing to the game. Those type of elements that people are not playing. Without that to me, that's the craft of basketball. So when the playoffs come around, at that time, most of the time when the playoffs come, the possessions get lesser, and you more in a half court offense, and this is why some of them can't produce to get that ring, some of those players, because they constantly shooting the three or not playing the craft,
right.
Not understand. Then when they got a big man in foul trouble, just picked up his 4th foul, and the coach keep him in the game, you're supposed to make that coach make a decision.
Correct.
To make him pick and make it hard for him to pick. Either we keep him in the game, if not, we just going to go at him, regardless of who else is on the court.
Yeah.
Things that's the crap. That's what's missing from the game.
That's what's missing. And guess what they replaced it with? They replaced it with analytics, because common sense, basketball sense, the craft will tell you if you run a high screen and roll and they switch and you got a 7-footer and now you got a guard on him, common sense will tell you mouse in the house, throw the ball in the post, right? But analytics,
that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. But analytics are telling them that now the mismatch is the big man that's actually on the guard at the 3-point line. And now that 7-footer, instead of going in the paint and posting that little guy up, he'll run to the corner and give space so they can dance on the big guy that's guarding the guard. And hopefully they get a 3 out of that, because the big man will back up and you get a 3 or a layup. It's all about 3 and layup, right? So analytics say the most efficient shot is a 3 or a layup. Mid-range, post up, all that stuff they doing away with. That's an element of basketball that's a foundational piece of basketball that the NBA is telling us we don't even want no more. You get what I'm saying?
Say no more.
No, that's
I mean,
that's crazy.
what you're saying is the gospel, because that's why to me, there's certain mismatches, and part of the game is taking advantage of mismatches. And there's no way that a 6'6" guy can, guard a skillful 7-footer. You get him on the pick and roll, and he just stands beyond the arc. Not only that, but when the guy shoots the 3, and this big man is still stuck behind the arc, whether it was Bosh, whether it was Kevin Love, or whether it was AD, and he's standing 23 feet away from the basket, then who's grabbing the rebound? He's not even in rebounded position. Things of that nature. So I was just saying to the fact that I understand but one other point I wanted to make, going back to LeBron and his decision he made to leave Miami. At that time when he made that decision, I was saying then, this was in 2010, I said it then, everything that's happening now as far as them stacking teams, I said that will happen, because that team made it hard for people just to compete, because it was so much talent on that team, whether they won or not. In order to compete, you had to match the level of talent. It wasn't so much about skill, but that talent, when it versus a structured team like San Antonio, had problems with San Antonio.
Of course,
they couldn't match them with talent. But they matched them with craft. So when people want to make hypothetical things, say, well, these players are more athletic now. To me, San Antonio is proof positive that those teams, before the guys got older at San Antonio, they couldn't beat a San Antonio Spurs team.
Right.
They were the last of the Mohicans to me.
Yeah.
The last of the teams that played that with the craft of basketball, and it was hard for the talented team to beat them. So if you take Jordan and these guys, who was athletic as well as skill and craft, they would blow them out the water. No, there's no doubt in my mind that will happen. I don't think there's Dr. J or anybody else from the old school being biased. I'm done with the 90s type thing. It's not, we would still be fans. I love the game. But when I turn on the game and stuff like that, and the ratings are low now, I guess that's why it's low, because a lot of basketball fans of the craft, it's just hard for us to watch. Because we don't see them playing competitive basketball, taking advantage of situation. It's just who's the hottest that night. But that's all I wanted to bring to the table. But I appreciate you letting me call in and everything and stuff like that.
Man, I'm glad you called, man. Comment. It was a good call. I appreciate it, brother.
All right, then. Take care now.
Yep. Caller from Ohio, make sure YouTube is turned off, man. What's your name?
My name's John.
All right, John, hold on real quick. Let me get through these super chats real quick. LLBJ the Great, thanks for the super chat. If a guy has 10 chances to win an NBA title, if you're a top 5, then you should at least win 4 of them. And Ron Walters, again, another super chat. Thanks, brother. What's your take on Dr. J's team needing to get Moses Malone to win a title when they couldn't get over the hump with Dawkins? I mean, they was facing juggernauts. Lakers and stuff like that, and they had Magic and Kareem and Worthy. So it was rough. And Moses is a better player than Dawkins, man. So sometimes a superstar needs at least a Robin that's legit, right? That that can be a threat. And I think Moses was more of that than Dawkins was, man. So I don't think nothing of it. I just think every Batman needs his Robin. That's all. All right. What's up, big dog? Caller, can you hear me? Caller.
How you doing?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, what's up? What's your thoughts?
I agree with everything that my boy from North Carolina just got off the line. I agree with everything he said, man. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised, right? I'm 40 years old, so I got a chance to see like Michael Jordan and how the league used to be.
Right.
The way the league is today, bro, it is completely different, man. It's completely different. And the guy from North Carolina just got off the phone. He explained everything that I wanted to say, but I just wouldn't know how to articulate it the way he did.
Right.
Right. So it's like the league today is so weak, and he hit on another point about how the ratings are low. Like it's true. Yep. Like back in the day, Jordan and Karl Malone were like the only two people that would average 30 a season. In an era where they was being hand checked and the big men were allowed, they weren't calling 3 seconds in the paint, right? Yeah. But you got to be a creative, scorer like Michael Jordan was. Today, you can't touch him, you can't hand check him. The big man ain't down low no more, so it's easy for the league to have like 10 guys, over 10 guys average 30 points. And another thing I wanted to talk about too is not really direct or related to what Dr. J said, but it's like everybody crowning LeBron the king or the GOAT because he scored 40,000 points, right? First time somebody in the league ever did it. So I didn't know who held the title until LeBron was about to pass it, which was Kareem, right?
Right.
So if Kareem had the scoring title, right? Only player in the NBA to ever do it. Why was he not considered the GOAT?
So because Michael Jordan was a better player. I mean, they're just changing the rules.
Right. So you mean to tell me he held that title all of these years, 40 years, nobody ever mentioned him to GOAT. As soon as LeBron scored 40,000 points, first player to ever do it, now he considered the GOAT. What?
Yeah.
How much sense did that make, bro?
None.
Like, stop playing, man.
None, really.
Stop playing, bro. This league is so weak. Like, Luka Doncic is unstoppable. That's how you know it's weak, bro. Not taking off. He's a great player, but Luka Doncic being unstoppable, bro. Like,
yeah, we're gonna talk about Luka on the last topic too when we get into this this Ringer Top 100.
But in all honesty, bro, in my opinion, Steph Curry is the MJ of this era, bro. Period.
You think so?
I think so, bro.
I actually think it's Kawhi and KD, but the
hell no, you got to take KD out of there, bro.
All right,
you got to take KD out of there, bro.
Tell me why.
He went and joined the team to put him out of the playoffs.
Yeah, but you gotta text Steph Curry the same way you text Kevin Durant for doing it.
Why you got to do that?
Because they both agreed to play with each other.
Nah, bro. Steph Curry.
No. Okay, let me ask you this. Put it this way.
That's like
no. Hold on. I'm about to break it down real good for you. Just listen to this. Let me ask you this. If you smash the girl that's not your girl, right? You smash this girl, and your girl finds out. Do you think you can get away with telling her, well, you can't blame me because she came to my house. I didn't come to hers. Or did y'all both do the do?
Bro, that's not fair, bro.
No. That's fair. No, stop. No, you laughing because I got you. You laughing because I got you. Fair, no, you saying KD went to Steph Curry's house, so that means Steph Curry can't be blamed for joining and for them going to go do their thing.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So you telling me that you not at fault if you let the girl come to your house and you smash,
bro?
Y'all both did it, bro.
Bro.
It don't matter who house it was over. It don't matter who team it was. They both did it.
So we got to say that about Michael Jordan too.
What superstar joined him after he was?
Well, he wasn't a superstar, but he was a very dominant player. Dennis Rodman.
What do you mean dominant? Wait. So you comparing Rodman to KD?
No, I'm just saying.
No. Can't. So this is the difference between Rodman and KD. Kevin Durant is a superstar who can carry a franchise by himself. Do you think Dennis Rodman can carry a franchise as the best player by himself?
Hell no.
Okay, so it's not comparable. Steph Curry is
but
a friend.
Analogy you had though, bro, like that ain't, you can't use that either.
Yeah, you can.
Argument,
It's the same exact thing. Either you go to her house or she come to yours. But either way it happens, you're both at fault. Y'all both decided to do something that you shouldn't have done.
Do you honestly think that the Warriors needed KD to win? They already won. How many before he came? They didn't need him, bro.
The two that they won with KD, they needed KD for those wins. They wasn't even gonna get past the Rockets without KD. They barely got past the Rockets with KD. So their legacy, and Isaiah and Draymond both admitted it. That legacy was done after that first ring, and they lost to the Cavs. They knew they wouldn't go beat the Cavs again. That's why they went and got KD. You think if they didn't need KD, they wouldn't have went and got him? Steph Curry want all his credit, but he knew it was done. It was over. He had to go get Kevin Durant.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But if that was the case, even if that was the case, Kevin Durant going to join him, whether he needed him or not, like that was just like an F nigga move. Like,
yeah,
period.
but all I'm saying is be fair. Whatever tax Kevin Durant got to pay, Steph got to pay the same tax, and whatever tax LeBron got to pay, Wade got to pay the same tax as well.
I don't know about Steph Curry. Like,
you just like Steph. It's hard for anybody to say anything about Steph.
I'm just being honest because I don't know if he played a part in him coming there or not.
It don't matter if he played a part. You think they gonna make that move without Steph Curry knowing it? Come on, man. He also tried to go fly, and when Kevin Durant was trying to make a decision whether he was gonna stay or go, he tried to fly to Kevin Durant's house and convince him.
KD must be your favorite player, bro.
No, I don't have a favorite player.
You're not letting him.
No. I just like fairness. I just like fairness. I don't like false narratives. But nah, I don't have a favorite player. Actually, my favorite player ever is Rod Strickland. Right. So I don't have a favorite player to play right now. Is Rod Strickland. That's why I'm out of my game out there. If you come play me on the court, you go see some Rod, you go see some Rondo, you go see some John Wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
This
league today, man, it just turned into the WWF, bro. Even an All-Star game, man, it's a joke.
It is.
Like, who wants to watch this crap, bro? It's crazy.
It is.
But I don't know, man. That's all I got, though, man. Nice talking to you, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate the call.
All right.
All right, let's get 2 more phone calls before we go to the next one. 2 more. Y'all didn't like my analogy? You gotta tax Steph Curry the same amount that you tax KD if you go tax him at all. You can't say Kevin Durant did something weak, but Steph Curry was just strong the whole time. Nah, it was. I mean, if it was weak for KD, it was weak for Steph. What's going on, caller? What's your name?
Roland Curtis.
What's up, Curtis? Dude, why is your number not saved, man? I don't know. I could have sworn every time you call, like, hey man, make sure you text me after the show your name so I can save it.
No, you never told me to text you. I'll write it down. So
text me after this so I can save it so I know when you're calling. All right, but go ahead. What's up, Roland?
Okay, so I definitely want to respect the order or the topic of the conversation. So, you mind if I talk about Dr. J and then moonwalk back to the Isiah Thomas thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing about Dr. J, what he said. So I don't know if you would call Dr. J a flip-flopper, but I do remember when he said that he had no problem with players going to the finals multiple times and losing. He said that he was just impressed that you got to the finals many times. So I think somebody might have asked him about LeBron James. So that to me sounded kind of strange coming from an old school player. But then he says now he kind of criticizes LeBron James for building super teams. So I honestly don't know where Dr. J stands with LeBron James.
Let me respond real quick.
Okay.
So you got to be able to decipher some of this stuff, right? When you're in the public and you're a public, you're a former athlete or whatever you are, right? Everything you say is gonna make it rounds. Everything you say got a long reach, right? And a lot of times people say things with that in mind. Like right now, it's people that work for ESPN, TNT, or whatever the case may be. All of those entities are partners with the NBA. So you never know when you say something and you get that phone call from one of the execs that you work for, or Adam Silver, or somebody saying, "Hey, look, man, you killing a player that we're trying to market and promote. Just take it easy on him." You get what I'm saying? Take it easy. Don't go too hard on him, right?
Right.
Because we're promoting him. He's making us money. We need him. Don't do that. You know, you're killing the game. Just like when Bill Walton used to call games, and I love Bill Walton because he would call out the BS from the referees on live air, right? And so would Jeff Van Gundy. And I never forget the year where it was really, really bad. That round that year where the Lakers they cheated the Kings. Bill Walton and Van Gundy was calling bloody hell. And I never forget the next season, it was almost like they couldn't say nothing no more. Right. And you could tell the league kind of cracked down on it, you know, because it was making the league look bad, because everybody was trying to figure out, man, why are these refs cheating for real? What's going on? Right. So you always got to keep that in mind. People will say one thing because they don't want to step on any toes or hurt any feelings or make the networks mad. But then every now and then you're going to hear their true thoughts. So you got to be able to decipher which one is the true and which one is for show.
Definitely, I can see that because I know Dr. J and Bill Walton, they're in the good graces of the NBA. So I'm sure the NBA can always tell them or ask them to, you know, cut down on certain things, or, you know, kind of I don't want to say put a leash on them, but there are certain NBA like old NBA players that you don't see too much around, and there are some that you see a lot. So I can see that as the NBA having like a relationship with certain players. As far as the previous topic on Isiah Thomas, so I just wanted to say that really quick is I think it's kind of troubling that after 4 years, you know, the last dance came out in 2020, and Isiah Thomas is still stuck on this. Like almost every interview, he's talking about how he had people in Chicago protecting Jordan, how he was always good to Jordan. He's always talking about the Boston Celtics. Oh, they didn't shake our hands. So, like you said, a good point. Like just because person A did me wrong doesn't mean I have to do person C wrong. You know, because person A did person B wrong doesn't mean person B has to do person C wrong. So that was a good point. But yeah, you know, it's just disappointing because you kind of like what you want to like Isiah Thomas, like you said, smiling and all that stuff. But like I said, like you said, I've heard the stories too. So just want to put things in context. The one reason why I think Michael Jordan would never get in contact with Isiah Thomas is because he's not bothered by Isiah Thomas. He actually says that Isiah Thomas is the second greatest point guard ever behind Magic Johnson. So I don't think Michael Jordan has any kind of like bitterness towards Isiah Thomas. Michael Jordan, I think, is good with where they are, but it's Isiah Thomas after 4 years. And this is something that Jordan said about Isiah Thomas on a documentary. It wasn't like, we don't even know if Jordan said that about him in 2020. You know, I don't know how long it's. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you know, it's like it might be old footage. He might not even feel that way, but Isiah Thomas is like battling with a comment that was made on a documentary several years ago, and he's still not over it.
No, that ain't what it is. I mean, that's what he's saying with his mouth, but he really mad about that being left out of the Dream Team. But now, you know, the crazy thing about that though is his coach was the Dream Team coach. And you over here, and you, I mean, and I know the coach. I know they had, was it Colangelo? I don't know who was it? Rob Thorne. I can't remember who actually picked the teams. So maybe Chuck Daly didn't have a lot to do with it. Maybe the coaches don't pick the teams. I don't know. But come on, man, it's your own coach, right? And if MJ said, I don't want to freaking go to Barcelona with a team that I'm gonna be in close proximity with for months and be around this dude that I really don't like. I'm the same way. I'd rather not play. I'm not about to force myself to pretend like I like this dude and smile and do all. We're gonna be on TV and camera. We gotta play together and practice and go out to eat and party and play cards. Like that's gonna mess up all the harmony. You had the issue with him and Magic, and he was saying Magic. Yeah, that's where I was gonna go. Because I was gonna go on those 2 points that you said before I get off the phone. Yeah. So really quick, you said right. Chuck Daly was still the head coach of the Dream Team, but it wasn't just Isiah Thomas' professional head coach. His college head coach, Bobby Knight,
called Michael Jordan the GOAT before Michael Jordan even played in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then, right, you're right. It wasn't just Michael Jordan who was saying that. I mean, it wasn't just his harmony that would have been disturbed. With Magic Johnson and Larry Bird didn't like Isiah Thomas. And like you were about to say, Magic Johnson, because the rumors were Isiah Thomas was going around saying that Magic Johnson was a bisexual, and he was asking people or like kind of wondering around the whole league, could somebody being bisexual catch HIV? And you know, for years, Magic Johnson hated Isiah Thomas until they had that sit down. And honestly, I don't think Magic Johnson thinks that Isiah Thomas didn't say it. I just think he forgave him for saying it.
Yeah.
But Isiah Thomas, right, to this day, I think still tries to deny it. And that's another thing about Isiah Thomas, him being a snake. Also, there was the CBA, the Continental Basketball Association, that Isiah Thomas bought for $10 million in 1999. And a year and a half later, in 2001, it shut down and it declared bankruptcy. And Isiah Thomas, his business plan and the things he was trying to do, it just backfired on him. And the CBA didn't finish their season in 2001. And then you have Larry Bird, who they said, well, I heard that in 1987, Dennis Rodman said that Larry Bird was overrated because he was white, and Isiah Thomas backed Dennis Rodman. But I think a lot of people probably assume that that was actually Isiah Thomas's thoughts, and he had Dennis Rodman do the dirty work like he did as a player. You know, Isiah Thomas wouldn't. I know from what I remember, Isiah Thomas didn't do as much as the damage physically as a Dennis Rodman, as far as being a dirty player, as much as Dennis Rodman, Rick Mahorn, and what's the white guy's name that hates Jordan to this day? Bill Laimbeer.
Bill Laimbeer,
yeah, Bill Laimbeer. So, but Isiah Thomas was smiling and stuff. While I think everybody assumed the Jordan rules was something that he I wouldn't say orchestrated, but he definitely led it without actually looking like he led it, because everybody else was doing the dirty work while he was doing a lot of scoring and smiling in everybody's face. So I think I would assume that people assume that Larry Bird assumed that no, it was actually because if you hear the things that Isiah Thomas says, I would like to call him pro-black, but I don't know if that's too strong of a word for him. But him saying that about Larry Bird or feeling that way, I think it's right up his alley from what I understand of Isiah Thomas. And you know, I don't know, like he tried to lead them to not shake their hands. Joe Dumars kind of went his own way and shook Michael Jordan's hand. So a lot of people around Isiah Thomas, and it wasn't just Michael Jordan, it was people on his team, and even at the Hall of Fame, Dennis Rodman said, you know, not to diss Isiah and Joe Dumars, but Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are the best duo of all time. So, you know, there's a lot of bridges that Isiah Thomas has burned. Right now, I think he's still on NBA TV doing commentary. He used to be on NBC. That's another thing. When he was working on NBC in the 90s, he called Michael Jordan the GOAT while he was calling the NBA Finals games in 1998.
But that was for TV. Like I mean, like I said, man, when these guys say stuff, man, is always a motive behind why they say it, and you know, you got to kind of decipher to see what they really believe, man. Because you know, a lot of times they'll say things and their explanation for it don't even make no sense. That's how you know they don't believe it. So, but yeah, I'll take that comment off the air, man. I appreciate the call, man. I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure you shoot me that text.
I will. I'll do it now.
All right. John Wayne, thanks for the super tag. MJ shrugged shoulders after 6 threes. The flu game. MJ switches hands in mid-air against the Lakers. Final shot against Byron Russell in Utah. Out of the 10 finals, besides the chase down block, what do you remember from LeBron? That's a good question. I don't know. Caller from Illinois. What's up? What's your name?
Hey, what's going on? This is Greg Anderson. How you feeling, brother?
What's good, man? I seen your text, man.
Okay. All right. Now, check this out, man. Let me get to the Dr. J comments, because Dr. J hit the nail on the head when he said that you cannot be considered a GOAT when you are stacking your teams. Here's the interesting fact about Michael Jordan. Each year that Mike played a full season with one All-Star, he won the NBA Final. Let that resonate. Now, LeBron then played with the Olympic team, 2003 draft, 2004 draft class, ex-Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers. He about to play with his sons. He about to play with his baby mama kids. he did play with everybody in the NBA and still only got 3 real rings. Now, it's interesting, like, if Mike was allowed to play in today's era, and I'm not even talking about, like, the style of play, because you had that caller from North Carolina that broke it down, like, he broke it down.
Yeah.
But, like, just think about today's NBA with the play-in. What is it? With the playoffs, the ninth and the
the play-in tournament.
The play-in. Okay, Mike last 2 years, right? They was the ninth seed, right? And LeBron, like the last 3 years, they've been like the ninth seed, and they've been making runs in the play-ins and getting to the second round in the Eastern Conference Finals. But how different would LeBron's legacy be if they played by the old rules? You didn't make the top 8 seeds, you ain't in the playoffs. So he would have one bubble ring and all of a conference finals appearance, and then a bunch of missed playoffs.
A bunch of missed playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, so like let's take this back to like if Mike was if they had that play-in back when Mike was with the Wizards, and let's assume that instead of him getting the first pick in Kwame Brown, and I ain't hating on Kwame, that's my guy, I love him on YouTube. But let's assume that he got Anthony Davis with that first pick. Man, they would have made some noise.
Or if he would have forced the trade, like I talked about this on a episode I did earlier this week, and I said that the difference between what LeBron is doing at his age with the Lakers and what Michael did at his age with the Wizards is that LeBron is actually forcing the front office to make trades to bring him superstar talent. Michael Jordan didn't force the Wizards to bring him superstar talent. If Anthony Davis is the third best big man in the league behind Jokic and Embiid, the equivalent to that when Michael Jordan was playing for the Wizards, if Shaq was the best, Tim Duncan was the second best, then Garnett was the third best. So imagine if the Wizards would have forced Garnett to trade to come to the Wizards to help Michael Jordan. Right. That's what LeBron did, but he didn't stop there. He went and got Dwight. He went and got Rondo. He went and got Melo. He went and got Westbrook. Like, so it's different what LeBron did with the Lakers. We just can't take what he's doing with the Lakers and say, oh man, he made the playoffs. And the Wizards didn't make the playoffs. Well, I mean, he didn't have a playoff team. He didn't even have a co-star. So that's my whole point with it.
Oh, you selling them short. He ain't even stopped there. He wouldn't have got a whole sports agency. You know what I'm saying? That they are like they need to get sued for like antitrust laws or whatever.
Man,
because
yeah. I mean, they probably doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff, man. But being the fact that he's LeBron and he's a brother, I mean, I won't even speak on my real thoughts publicly, man. Like I really wouldn't. But man, yeah, they're a piece of work, man.
Yeah, they rigging the league. All right, but I just want to go back on one of the topics. You was talking about Bill Walton. Bill Walton did get a chance to win a championship in 1977.
With Portland, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, but Bill Walton is the most overrated Hall of Famer in any sport. This brother is like he's equivalent to like what's a boy named Sabonis Sabonis?
Sabonis? Nah, Sabonis was like that. Don't do that. Sabonis was like that. Oh, you talking about the son? You talking about the son, the one that's playing now?
The son.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the dad. Okay.
The one that's the Sacramento. That's all Bill Walton is. And Bill Walton is a Hall of Famer. But did you know that on the 86 squad?
Wait, a Hall of Famer and a top 50 player of all time, too. Don't forget that.
Top 50 player. That's why I'm waiting for D Rose to retire because if they put Bill Walton in there,
yeah,
they got to put my boy D Rose.
But see, you know, with revisionist history, this is the type of stuff that people that are trying to protect LeBron will say, well, Bird had a super team. He had Bill Walton. And they're trying to make Bill Walton, Kevin McHale, and Danny Ainge some type of superstar, and Dennis Johnson. They try to make them seem like some type of superstars when they wasn't there.
Bill Walton, the year that he won Sixth Man of the Year on the 86 squad, he averaged 7 points and 7 rebounds. Let that sink in. And my boy Eddie Johnson, he should have won Sixth Man of the Year that year because he was averaging like 19 points a game.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts. And hold on, one last thing before I get off the phone, man. Isiah Thomas, man, bro, give it up. Okay, you had your little dope fiend nephew washing dishes at Mike's house, cleaning his car. You know what I'm saying? Folding his laundry because his mama wouldn't move from North Carolina. Bro, give it up, man. Hey, ain't no robbery and fair exchange, man. All right, holla back, man.
All right, big dog. All right, one more call. Super chat, LBJ the Great. Thank you for the super chat. No three-peat. 4-10 finals record. Best record 2 years in a row and still didn't make the finals in 09 and 10. And 2 final sweeps by record margins. Don't forget that. Even 6 foot, 160-pound Iverson managed not to get swept in the finals by a Lakers team that was undefeated in the playoffs. That's a good point. Right, you the last caller for this one. What's up, big dog?
Okay, what's happening? Yeah, on that when LeBron get his teams right, remember Dwayne Wade was the one that said the whole goal of that was stopping Kobe.
Yeah.
It was jealous of Kobe.
Not only stopping Kobe, but they was looking at Kobe racking up rings, and they was like, man, we ain't even got, like, LeBron ain't even got one yet. Like, we got to do something. They had to join up. Yeah. I should have played that soundbite, but go ahead.
And they want to go back to the Celtics. What I say with that KG Pierce Allen team, I think the Celtics more so formed that team than how LeBron and Wade now personally, colluded together to get together. I think it was more so the Celtics formed that team. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a difference, but I'm still gonna call the Celtics a super team, though. They definitely were a super team.
Yeah, there was a super team, but KG and Allen now, they didn't get together and say, okay, we're gonna get together just so we could stop this one player from getting all the rings.
No, they didn't do that.
No,
they didn't do it.
I think it was more so the Celtics put them together. If they had a super team, the Celtics put it together and not the players.
Right, but more importantly than that, they had already went through their prime trying to do it the hard way. And they realized they couldn't do it the hard way. They did us a very good favor by letting us know, okay, y'all tried it. That shows us that y'all ain't really built like that. Y'all ain't on Kobe's level, who was the guy during that time. So y'all not on Kobe's level. So good. We seen that. Now we see y'all join. We didn't even get a chance to see Wade, Bosh, and LeBron fail enough for us to make a decision on, okay, well, y'all not on Kobe's level. They just went and joined each other just so they can get the rings and shut everybody up. And we didn't get a chance to actually properly place them in our minds.
Right, because we supposed to seen Dwayne Wade and LeBron go at it for a while.
And I think we I think we would have seen that that LeBron wasn't that far above Wade, and Wade probably was better than him. And we would have seen that, but and we probably would have seen that Melo was probably better than both of them, but we didn't see it. We didn't get a chance to see that. Yeah. We seen all three of them going up against Melo and Amari, and that was it. Like that's an unfair fight. We didn't get to see if LeBron was really better than Melo because they didn't go head to head, and they both was they both was in the East at that time. So I mean, they really cheated the system for sure.
Yeah. Hey, when KD went to the Warriors, let me ask you about something. It was a rumor now. I just heard about it, just a rumor that the Warriors was actually interested in getting LeBron.
Yeah.
And they think about trying it again this offseason. Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about the offseason thing, but I did hear about the rumor that at the trade deadline, and then I heard Rich Paul speak about it. But this is how I looked through that and decipher it. LeBron was trying to get the Lakers to do something. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he wanted them to make a trade at the deadline. I don't want to know if they wanted them to commit to drafting Bryant in the first round. He wanted the Lakers to do something, and the Lakers was refusing to do it. And him and Rich Paul was trying to use leverage, like they was go to Golden State or something like that. And they were trying to use that leverage, basically telling the Lakers, "Look, I don't have to be back here next year. I got a player option. I just walk." And the Lakers was like, "Go walk," and called this bluff, and they had to come out publicly and say, I want to retire a Laker. And I ain't never heard LeBron say nothing like that about Cleveland, about Miami, none of that. He never said that. Right. So,
no. But can you imagine how that would destroy, like you said, both of their legacies? Steph Curry's too. That would totally destroy both of their legacies.
I mean, it's already destroyed, really. I mean, not destroyed, but it's not destroyed. It's not destroyed. It's already placed below Kobe's. In my mind, but in the media's mind, they trying to put them on the same level.
If LeBron go to the Warriors, that would destroy both of their legacy. They can't argue about nothing about them being great.
they still will. You know, the media got LeBron and Steph in their hearts, man. Like, you know, they won't let us, man.
No, the money tries. Follow the money.
yeah, for sure. Yep. But thanks for the call, Rob, man.
That's what I want.
Go ahead.
That's all I wanted to mention right there. I appreciate you taking my call. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thanks for the call.
All right, peace.
All right, that's the last call for that topic. Super chat from LBJ the Great. Imagine Kobe with a slightly better Gasol, which was Bosh and D Wade. Imagine him having Gasol, Love, and Kyrie. Those are the gaps LeBron can't cover. Right. That and that's the big thing. The people don't understand that extra superstar goes a very long way. The extra superstar goes an extra long way. Most players get one superstar as a co-star, and they go 1-2 punch it. That's normal. Or even having no superstars, it's just one superstar with a couple of all-stars, like what Steph had with Clay and Dre. Right. So that's normal. Right. Give me one superstar with 2 all-stars or 2 superstars. I can get down with that. Right. But I take that one last call since it's T-Ray. But yeah, it makes a difference when you get 3 superstars on one team. That makes it a super team. That makes a big difference. T-Ray, you the last caller. What's up?
Hey man, what's going on, bro? Man, just checking in, man. I'm listening to y'all on fire tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, Doc, he said a mouthful, and I'm glad that he holding true to a stance, man. You know, he had wavered over years, and I do kind of agree. You know, you got to stay in pocket when you got a stature, and you represent the league. So I do get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we in this day and time with the way stuff is, the truth needs to be said and it needs to be presented. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that he said what he said. I want to talk about how he gets this narrative that he make people better, he make players better. Can you honestly name a player, even they ain't got to be a superstar, they can just be a role player, that LeBron James has made better? You know, I still had this conversation with a lot of people. You know, they'll use like Mo Williams and this and that, but I don't really see him, long term he don't make players better.
I mean, he kind of debunks their own narrative by how many trades he does, right? And thanks Shay J. Real quick, man. If we only got 193 likes, man, we really behind, man. So everybody do the channel a favor, like right now, and hit the like button. I appreciate that, man. Everybody, please hit the like button. Like that helps about a lot. So Shay J, appreciate that. But yeah. I mean, if you made players better, you wouldn't have to trade them mid-season as often as he does. Right. So what it really is he's, him and his team and his media members are creating a narrative that he makes people better, and the fans believe it. But what they don't see behind the scenes, they should see it because it's not behind the scenes, but what they don't really see is to get better, he's making changes and major changes. Like I'm talking about, like you in Cleveland, you don't like the way it's looking. Okay, buy D Rose, buy Isiah Thomas, buy D Wade. All of y'all will go, right?
Whole roster, Isiah Thomas. I mean, he had some guns that year, and he revamped the entire roster. And then you get to the finals, and all of a sudden he don't have enough help.
Right.
It go back to the same bland narrative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you can say this too, like he almost ended Russell Westbrook's career.
Yeah, he did. Not him. His beehive.
Well, his minions.
Yeah.
His minions. Yeah. I call them the Dashians.
Yeah.
The Dashians, man, they almost ended his entire career, man, all off some false narrative. All off of this dude is he's one of the greatest hustle players in the history of sports, not just the NBA.
you look at Russell Westbrook, man, he don't stop. That's the one thing about him that you can say he's top tier at, and that's his motor.
Yeah.
You know, and they try to destroy him like he was just nothing, and he couldn't do nothing right, and you know, this and that. And they destroyed him, man. Darren Williams, he destroyed. I mean, he was already on his way out, but you couldn't get him to you know, you couldn't highlight nothing in his game to help to make that team better. You know what I'm saying? And you can just go through years at a time, man, where it's been players like that he's canceled out. He's made them obsolete because he don't know how to play but one way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they call Kobe Bryant a ball hog, but I remember Earl Clark had his best years playing with Kobe.
Yeah.
Lamar Odom, Shaq, Odom. I mean,
you know what's interesting though about people having their best years? I'm looking at Devin Booker having his best year in assist numbers. I'm looking at Grayson Allen shooting his best from the three, right? Yep. I'm looking at when not Speedy Claxton, but Nick Claxton in Brooklyn had his best year with KD there, right?
Yep.
I'm looking at those things. I'm looking at Yuta Watanabe having a great year with, alongside KD. I looked at Royce O'Neal having his best time with Brooklyn, so much so he came and joined Phoenix to follow Kevin Durant. Like, so low key, it's players that actually have career years playing with KD versus players having career years playing with LeBron. And that's what people are not talking about.
They don't talk about that because the narrative has been you gotta degrade Durant to elevate LeBron. Just like they pushed Melo out the league while he was climbing the ladder on the all-time scoring list.
Yeah.
They had to push him out because you can't have a narrative of two players in year 20 being able to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So they made it like Melo was washed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it was, and I'm telling you, the thing that pisses me off about it, it's clutch sports, man. Clutch sports is a conflict of interest. They have been able to infiltrate the league and be able to do this with the help of the league, and to make this dude seem bigger and better than what he is. Because I mean, even with all that, he's still not been able to pass Kobe, Larry Bird, Jordan, Kareem, nobody. You know what I'm saying? But it's just diabolical what's going on in that. And the fact that people don't see it on a broad scale is just sickening to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at, man. And like I said, at some point, man, it's gonna have to be a deep dive on clutch sports and the origins of when they started.
You know what? I've been planning it. You know, because you know, and I want to do that. I mean, I might do that maybe next week or a couple of weeks from now. But that'll be a show. But starting with Phil Jackson when he called them a posse, when he was
the posse.
We didn't know. We all took it the wrong way. We didn't know what he was talking about. He was trying to let us know what they was doing behind the scenes.
He was.
Yeah.
But they did the Democrat type thing where they use the racism. They play on the racism, play on your emotions, so that you get away from the reality of what's really being said.
Yeah.
And they took that and they build on it. And then the league is so woke that they was able to go ahead and finesse it, and then now we got what we got.
Yep. Facts. But I'm glad. I'm glad because that's a whole different conversation. That's a non-basketball conversation, really. And I'm not mad that Clutch Sports is doing what they're doing. But I mean, I do got to call a spade a spade. I do understand that they're doing a lot of manipulative things, but hey man, more power to them for it though.
Well, more power to them, but I'm just saying, just imagine if Kobe had a organization like that was able to frame the narratives for him. Like even when he went through his stuff in Colorado or after he went through it.
Kobe wouldn't even take it like that. You know what I mean? Like
his mind don't work that way.
Him and Mike.
Ain't a beta.
Yeah, him and Mike want to do it the hard way and make sure they earn it. You know what I mean? It's a little different how they do it.
From the mud.
Yeah.
From the mud. Yep, you're right. So yeah. But yeah, man, like I said, hey man, keep doing your thing. Every week is better and better. And this narrative is getting out here, and then more and more people are starting to wake up to what's going on, man. So keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Yeah, for sure. All right, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, let's get to the second topic, and hopefully we can get that one done fast, and then get to that top 100 because that'll be real quick. Oh man, hold on real quick. I'll take one more phone call. How about that? Take one more phone call. Caller from Ohio. What's up? What's your name?
How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm good too. Just checking out the program, man. I always enjoying. I just got a question because I hear a lot of sports talks and a lot of different people's opinions. How much do you think is their emotional opinion?
For who?
I mean, just in general.
The average fan.
Yeah, because I remember.
I would say probably 80% of people are just emotionally picking who their favorites is, and for some reason, whoever your favorite is have to be the GOAT for some reason. So if your favorite player is LeBron, then you gotta root for him in the GOAT debate. A lot of people are not like, because to be honest with you, when you have biases like that, sometimes they're conscious, sometimes they're unconscious, and you actually have to be trained about those biases in order to be able to ignore them, right? And in my line of work, I teach that, right? So I think we all are naturally biased, but I'm aware of it, and I know how to separate that, right? So I'm objective as much as I can be. I don't have no feelings attached to it. I don't even have a favorite team in NFL or NBA. I don't have a favorite player. I like basketball, right? So everything I critique is based on how basketball is supposed to be at its purest form, right? So if it's a player who actually fits that criteria of playing the game in its purest form, then I'm gonna watch that player the most, and I'm gonna study that player, and that player is who I'm gonna grade above a player who's actually raw with a lot of the talents like LeBron, right? So if you're not a trained person to deal with your biases and put your biases in the bag and put it to the side when you're dealing with this stuff, then 85%, 90% of people are just picking with emotions and feelings. That makes sense?
Yeah, and because why I said that is because I've seen they was doing. I guess they was analyzing the eye test stats. They had different categories as far as how we pick, the GOATs or the MVPs or whatever. And emotion was higher than all of the stats and the eye tests of who are you emotionally connected to. And a lot of times, because when you hear, and I enjoy sports talk, and everybody don't have to agree with what you agree with or what I agree with. But a lot of times what you're hearing is people's more emotion opinion than actually fact and what's going on, and then actually have a true overview of whoever the player. And I'm not just talking about like LeBron or nobody. I'm just talking about in general of what a player has done or haven't done, and they're making it. And it really doesn't matter because they're just saying what they think emotional.
Yeah,
I think I've been a victim of that at one time, and then I got to the point, like you said, because I'm in the field where I can have my emotion, but I can't make my decision off my emotion because I have a job to do. And even though sometimes, it's players that in the past that I didn't care too much for, but I couldn't say they wasn't better than another player. Right. Just being honest with myself, and I think a lot of people who watch sports or whatever, they need to kind of step back and see how much are they emotionally invested. And a lot of times they're emotionally invested to their story, where they came from, and they identify with that, and then they kind of really overly analyze what they came through instead of what they're actually doing. Because hear it, and even like I feel like on American Idol. I'm sure you watch American Idol or seen it before.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
When they go through the first audition, and people come in and they tell their story. They tell their story,
right?
And they get attached to the person, and then they hope they make it. A lot of times, just on this happened to me, blah blah blah. And
Right.
I think that's
So let me help you out real quick. When people talk about who they think the best player they ever seen or who the greatest of all time is, right? And you have different people that say Kareem, LeBron, Kobe, or Mike.
Right.
When they pick Mike, they're going to start talking about how good he is as a player. When they pick Kobe, they're going to talk about how good he is as a player. When they pick LeBron and you disagree with them, they're going to say, how can you disagree with someone who's such a good example, who came from a single parent home, who's a good father, a good husband, who's done nothing wrong. Michael Jordan gambles, Kobe Bryant had a charge. They're going to say all of those things, right? It's more people emotionally attached to LeBron. Even I did an episode and dropped it 2 days ago where Barkley was talking about he don't believe LeBron's the greatest player he ever seen, but he has the greatest story. Why is the story even why is it even a conversation? Who cares about the story?
Right.
It's basketball. The basketball players ain't supposed to say stuff like that. That's supposed to be the journalists talking like that.
Right.
But
and
go ahead.
No, and like I said, like you see it because I'm in the music heavy too, like sports. I'm in a lot. And why I'm saying it, because you see it in the music and you see it on these shows where people come up and they have the judges already rooting for them, and they ain't saying a note. Sometimes they don't even make it, and it's like that in sports. And I don't think, because it's sports, I don't think they realize how much it's an emotional attachment. Now, to me, the players you name, a lot of times when people start comparing what they're calling to be the GOAT, it seems like they're actually comparing to Kareem, because Kareem's the one with the stats in the college, dominance and high school and everything. But to me, and this is my opinion, and people can disagree, if you can watch Michael Jordan and say that he's not the GOAT, I mean, he's not the best you ever seen. I mean, all you got to do is watch a few clips of him. He's not only was he fundamental, he had some of the most incredible looking dunks, reverses that you ever see. I mean, what he did was not normal for one person. His highlights are better than SportsCenter in the evening. If you watch like some of his clips, you watch some of his clips.
You're right.
Remember the one he went through like 4 people and then laid it up. I mean, you don't see that. Some of the stuff he did, you don't see that today. And I think too, this generation, because I got kids and nephews, nieces and nephews of that age who debate, the LeBron thing, because that's the thing. But then they have the FOMO thing within, with the fear of missing out. So a lot of people want to think that they didn't miss the greatest thing that happened, and that is happening now. And I would say I'm going to say this. I think that's why, as far as a shooter, I think that's why Steph gets over, because he's now.
Yeah.
And everybody's agreeing he's the greatest because they're watching him now.
Right. And he's in an era that is created an environment for him to shoot a lot. There were actual shooters that shoot as good or arguably better than Steph Curry that just didn't shoot that much. I think Tracy Murray was a daggone good shooter, right? And you can go check him out playing for the Bullets with Rod Strickland and Webber and Juwan Howard, but he came off the bench. Great shooter. Dale Curry, Steph's dad, great shooter. So I mean, there was Mark Price, great shooter. Right. So we don't know if Steph is really the greatest, but we do know he gets the title because no one has shot as much as Steph, and we haven't seen the volume of shooting with none of these other great shooters because they play the position the way the position is supposed to be played.
Right, but what I'm saying, I agree. But what I'm saying is because it's happening now and it's in real time, is that the ones who can't give Jordan denied, they can give him because he's in real time. You know, and what you're watching in real time, it kind of like I was watching a guy earlier today. I forget his name. He's been on ESPN, whatever. He was saying that you watch clips of Jordan, and I witnessed it, and there's a difference between watching highlight clips and then watching a guy play a game and then do that shot. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it blows you away. Now you're watching clips, so you look like, oh, okay. But if you're watching a game and everybody's doing what they do, and you know everybody's in the bag that they in, and then you see this guy just do what he just did, you like nobody is separating themselves, or nobody's even doing what he did, which was years ago. You know, so.
All right, brother. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, thank you, bro.
All right, thanks. All right, I'm gonna go to the last topic. I'm gonna skip Gilbert Arenas this topic because we coming up on the time. But yeah, the Ringer came out with their top 100. They actually, it's not like it is a new list, but they just updated, and they just updated it a couple of days ago, right? So their new top 100. I remember when they came out with this. I want to say before Kyrie Irving got traded to Dallas, and when I first seen it, they had Kyrie Irving at like out of the top 100. I think Kyrie Irving was in the 70s. Right, and then they updated it later that year, and he got up to 66. They had about I don't know 14 or 15 point guards ahead of him. They're telling me it's 14 point guards better than Kyrie Irving. Well, it ain't that much better this year. They got him at like number 30 something, but they still got 10 point guards ahead of. If you count Luka as a point guard, I don't count Luka as a point guard, so they only got 9 point guards ahead of him. But if you count Luka, they got 10 ahead of him, and he's outside of the 10. You mean to tell me it's 10 point guards better than Kyrie Irving? So the list is just bogus, right? It's they're still holding a personal vendetta. You got to look at the writers of this this magazine of the Ringer and see who was involved and see what their connection is to Kyrie, and you'll see why they'll never get him his proper due, right? So they got Kyrie at like number 30 something, but that's not why I want to talk about it. I wanted to talk about it because of the top 5 they got. They got Jokic 1. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think Jokic is, but as far as giving him the King of the Hill title because can't nobody beat him, you got to give Jokic number 1. But I still think Embiid is better than Jokic. I still think Kawhi and KD is better than Jokic. But they can't beat Jokic, so you can't even say that. I have to give it to Jokic. So I don't have a problem with Jokic being 1. Great, got him at 1, right? Then they got Giannis at 2, and they got Luka at number 3. That's their top 3. How the heck you got Giannis at 2? I have no clue. This man game is so limited. Lord have mercy, this game is so limited, man. But apparently you don't need to play defense anymore for people to consider you the best in the league. And I'm not even talking about Jokic. I'm talking about Luka Doncic. The 3rd best in the league. He's the 3rd best we got to offer. That's what they think, right? They got Luka at number 3. And then they got like if you go to their website, they break it down where they give you what their strengths are, what they're good at, and they got like little icons, like if you're a sharpshooter or whatever the case may be. But they don't have anything negative there, right? So they're not going to tell you, all right, this is what he don't do well, right? They're not going to say, all right, man, he don't play defense, or he can't play defense, or none of that, or he's not going to say anything about what type of shape you in or how ball done. They're not going to say anything. Just all these great things. Luka is unstoppable, blah, 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 blah. But then with other players like Joel Embiid, they have this negative stuff there. Like, oh, he's injury prone. He can't stay on the floor. They'll put negative stuff there, but they won't put no negative stuff there for Luka. And I'm like confused. I'm like, dude, it's obvious. Like, you can't mention his defense. Oh, because if you mention his defense, you would have to be, you would be forced to have to grade him fairly and correctly, and you have to actually bring him down a notch. So they're not talking about his defense, so evidently it's not that important, right? So my whole point of this whole video is you attack Joel Embiid for his injury proneness. And you know the old saying that people always like to say, the best ability is availability. Well, I have a new saying, right, for team or for players who don't play defense. The worst ability is liability. when you're a liability on defense, you should have a negative icon by you when you on some type of list like this to show everybody this dude is a liability on defense. This dude hurts his team on defense. This dude can't play defense. This dude won't play defense. This dude is not interested in defense. You have to actually grade players the right way. If you're going to do it for an injury-prone guy and say he's not available and the best ability is availability, then you have to do it for a guy who's a accident waiting to happen on defense because he's letting people get free runs to the rim because the worst ability is liability, and he's a liability on defense, man. That's all I wanted to say about it. I mean, the list, like I said, the list is really bogus anyway. I mean, to have all these point guards ahead of Kyrie Irving just because you don't like him, and then they got Ja Morant even lower than Kyrie Irving. I can't take your list seriously when you do that. Now you got Trae Young in front of Kyrie, you got Jamal Murray in front of Kyrie, you had Tyrese Halliburton in front of Kyrie. Like every point guard was in front of Kyrie. That has a name attached to him. So I thought that was funny, man. That's why I'm gonna end the show at. I will open the phone lines up one last time to get like 3. I'm gonna let 3 calls come in. Make sure you stay with this topic on this top 10 or this top 100, and leave everything else in the comments after the show with any other the other topics. But phone line is open. I got a call from Illinois.
How you doing?
Caller from Illinois. What's up? What's your name?
Bill from Chicago.
What's up, Bill?
So this doesn't really surprise me because LeBron doesn't play any defense, and he's considered by a lot of people the best in the league.
Yeah.
It's just a shame what has become to this, what has became of this game that we love so much.
Yeah.
You know, I can't even believe that people look up to someone like that. Forget what he does off the court. He stands around. He looks lost on the court when it's time to play defense. Like he don't know where to stand. And then throwing himself all over the floor and all that nonsense, bro. It's like, yeah, you don't have to play defense. And it's really destroyed the game. It's like a pickup game. Kind of looks like the All-Star game. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know what they can do. Go ahead.
At least the Ringer didn't put him in the top 10. The Ringer got him at number 12.
Oh, okay. I was curious about that, where they put LeBron.
Yeah, they had him at number 12. There was at least a little bit honest about that. But how he's in front of Kawhi? No, I think Kawhi was in front of him. Yeah. But they had LeBron at number 12.
Okay, but you're right on point with Luka. I mean, like, yeah, I mean that's what the league is. It's like, oh, he's coming down. Let's just stand here and get out the way. I'm not even gonna try. I don't want to be on a poster. I don't even, like, you know, some dudes they'll be within 2 feet of him. They won't even swat at the ball.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I seen Luka giving some effort, not early in the season, but toward the middle before the All-Star. But he was giving some effort on defense. You just not gonna see it a lot, man. I was ready to give him his props and say he was playing better defense and stuff like that, man. But then it just went back in the dumps, man. I think once he seen his name dropping in that MVP race, he wanted to put some big numbers up, man, because he really wants to win MVP. But here's the list.
The one that said that the game is easier
to score over here.
European game, right? Yeah, maybe that's why he's like, well, I don't need defense. I can score.
So if you can look at the screen, right? So here it is. They talking about Luka. He's number 3, right? And you see this passing virtuoso, pull up threat, clutch gene, interior score. Those are the icons they gave him. And then they got 3 paragraphs, and it's all good stuff. They don't say nothing about his defense, right? At all, right? But then when you go down here, Joel Embiid, you're telling me that Joel Embiid had his team number 2 in the East the whole season, or 2 or 3 in the East before he got injured. And
you gotta say, as long as he's able to stay on the court,
right? But my thing is, they mention it. They saying he has injury concerns, and they talking about it in the paragraphs below. So they'll say the negative things for him. Here it again, same thing with Kawhi Leonard. They're talking about his injuries and the negative stuff, right? I bet if I go down here to Kyrie Irving, they go.
The only impediment is his own body. They put it right in the tagline.
Bruh, it's crazy, man. Zion Williamson, injury concerns right there, right? Like they saying everybody negative stuff, right? Lord have mercy, they got flight risk by here by James Harden. I guess that means that he disappeared. He I don't know what that means, right? But let's see what they say about let's see what they say about these boys say extremely online for Kyrie Irving. Chaos agent who makes confounding off-court decisions. This is what they got for Kyrie Irving.
What?
And there's one like this is crazy. Like negative stuff right here.
Got to do with anything.
Look at the second paragraph. But the list of bullshit is still comically long. Irving missed more than half of the first 2 seasons in Brooklyn. What the heck? Why are we talking about Brooklyn?
So he
COVID-19. They talking about COVID-19, new contract, all this crazy stuff. I'm pretty sure they say something about defense too.
Like ancient history. What the heck?
Talking about him getting suspended. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like this stuff
For
is
real.
ridiculous, man. That is unreal.
Crazy.
That is unreal,
Yeah.
Man. Unreal.
You gotta be fair with everybody, man. And
Yeah,
everybody
crazy.
has weaknesses. Don't tell me nobody in the league has a weakness.
There's
There's no Michael
unreal,
Jordan
man.
in this league.
Unreal. All right, man. But go ahead, finish your thoughts, man. I ain't mean to interrupt you, man.
Oh no, it's cool. I was just saying good point, and it's just. Oh, I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know how they're going to fix this because the viewership is going down. People are waking, like shows like yours. The internet is out there, so they see lies. One time they put LeBron almost got a double-double. Now we're talking about almost getting a double. What, bro?
That's rich.
just to pull something out of your, yeah. So I don't know what's going to bring it back, but I can't even watch it no more.
Yeah,
I can't watch a whole game.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, man. It's not the league that we loved before. It's something different, man. So yeah.
Yeah, and then play-in tournament, in-season tournament. What we can do next? Tiddlywinks? What the heck, bro? Like,
yeah. But all right, man. Appreciate the call,
Thanks
man.
for taking my call, man.
No doubt.
Have a good
Thanks. Yep. Yeah, man, that was unreal. Super chat, Roland Curtis. Appreciate you, man. You want to be fast like Isaiah, shoot like Bird, rebound like Barkley, pass like Magic, be dominant like Shaq. But man, I wanted to be like Mike Allen Iverson. Yeah, Iverson did say that his Hall of Fame speech. Caller from Texas. What's up? What's your name?
Man, chilling. This is Rashad calling in from Texas, man.
What's up,
man?
Hey, man, you see that top 100 list?
Nah, I didn't see it. I think I heard a few things you were talking about, but
Bro,
who they got top 3?
They got Jokic, Giannis, and Luka.
Wow. I mean, they're young, but I guess.
Nah.
I guess.
But you got to go to the Ringer top 100 for this year, right? It's the way I just want you to go straight down to Kyrie Irving and read what they wrote for Kyrie Irving. Wow. It's unreal. It don't have nothing to do with basketball, bro. They talking about COVID-19, Brooklyn, suspension. It's all this crazy stuff. But they're not gonna say anything about Luka's defense. I just don't get it. But go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Wow. Yeah, man. I was thinking, man, how would you feel if Ant-Man and Paolo Banchero went to join Jason Tatum? Would you feel like that's a good idea for them to team up and take over the league? Like what's your thoughts on that?
It'd be the same thing that LeBron and Wade did and Bosh.
Yeah.
It'd be the exact same thing. Jason Tatum would be LeBron in this situation. Wade would be Ant-Man, and Banchero would be Bosh. It'd be the exact same thing. They should do it. Like I said, it's a new standard. This is the standard that Larry Bird and Magic set is what Michael and Kobe followed. But LeBron he set a new precedence with a new standard of deck stackers. And KD and Steph and Wade and LeBron all stack the deck. So they all get compared with the deck stackers. You can't compare them to the guys who didn't stack the deck. It's two separate tables, two separate standards. Right. So for deck stackers, I think what would be good is what exactly what LeBron said. Not 1, not 2, not 3. You should get 8 rings when you stack the deck, especially when you stack the deck when you're in your prime. I expect 8 rings because without stacking the decks, the standard would be 6 for Mike. That's without stacking the deck. So if you stack the deck, you got to get more than 6 in order for it to be a success.
Got to. I'm not really good on a lot of stats and history, but how long was MJ in the league before Scotty became, got drafted to the Bulls? Just curious.
I want to say 2 years. Maybe,
okay, 2 years.
Maybe 2 years.
Okay, so we can clearly see, and I'm not hating on LeBron or nobody, but you can clearly see how Michael got Scotty as a rookie and developed the shit out of Scotty and made this man and made the whole team into somebody, into something, and put this man to a Hall of Fame level. Now, I'm unsure how great he was in college. I mean, I don't think he was like the top college player coming out that draft. I'm unsure. I'm not trying to knock Scotty, but when they say superstars making their team better, come on, man. Come on now.
Yeah, I give you credit for making someone better if there's a clear-cut reference point of this player not being that good. And so it's got to be 3 things. I got to see this player not that good. Then I have to see something that you pass down to him to help him. And then I got to see him actually turn into actually being good. So with Scottie Pippen, you're right. That did happen. He came in as a rookie averaging 7 points a game or whatever he averaged. Let me look it up. So he got drafted in the 87-88 season, and Michael Jordan got drafted in the 84-85 season, right? So he come in averaging he started 0 games his rookie season, and he averaged 7.9 points, right? So Michael Jordan was already in the league, coming in as a rookie, averaging 28 points. Then he missed his whole second season for that broke foot, and then he came back the third season averaging 37 points. And then he got Pippen the year after he averaged 37, right? So 87-88 season, Jordan averaged 35. Pippen as a rookie averaged 7.9, and then we got what Mike actually had a trainer called named Tim Grover that he actually told to go train Scottie Pippen. I don't think Scottie had to pay for it. He said, go train Scottie and show him what you showed me. So as far as his fitness level and in his endurance and all that stuff, Michael Jordan passed it down to him. That's number 1. Number 2, practicing when competing with Michael Jordan every single day is going to turn you into a dog. Right? Absolutely. So coming in as a rookie, averaging 7.9 points and then turning into an all-star top 50 player of all time, you can credit some of that Michael Jordan, but you got to give credit to Scottie Pippen for doing the work as well, right? Now, I wouldn't say that what LeBron does is make players better because the players that he gets are already established as all-stars. He don't get them as a rookie and then turn them into something. They already what they are. So, different thing.
That's right. That's right. Hey, man, before I get out of here, man, because I know the guys on the call, I want to hear their point of view. I went back and I looked at when Jordan returned to Chicago as a Wizard. I didn't hear a lot of boos. I heard a lot of clapping or a lot of cheering. Well, you remember when LeBron came back to Cleveland as Miami. Now, I understand it was totally 2 different circumstances, but it just goes to show you what happens when you do right and, you sell your trajectory to the top a certain type of way, and then we start doing the Fugazi way.
Yeah.
You see how the game treats you. So that's all, man. Have a good one, man. Keep doing your thing, Mel.
All right, thanks, bro. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, LeBron, he did it in a sleazy way, man, like Tupac said. I'm gonna take 2 more phone calls, then we're gonna shut the show down, man. This was a long one, and I ain't even get to all my topics, man. So, but it was definitely a good stream, man. But I'll take 2 more calls, Caller from Chicago, what's up? Hello, caller from Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah, what's going on? What's your thoughts?
Oh, I'm calling in because just piggybacking on what the guy just said about Jordan and Pippen. Jordan made Pippen what he was, bro. He made him what he was. I remember this vividly. I remember they was about to trade Pippen twice.
Yeah.
I think I commented on this before. Jerry Krause, when they asked him about Scotty, he said Scotty was not coming along as they had thought. It was Jordan who kept Pippen from being traded because he told Krause, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be great. Just let me work with him. That's the only reason why he didn't get traded. And they was gonna trade him back to Seattle for Olden Pollard. Then the second time they was gonna trade him they was trying to get Kerr. The third time when they was trading him, like in the 90s, they was thinking about Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
Jordan made Pippen, man. He made him who he was.
Yeah,
And
you can say that. I can think that, but it may be real hard for me to say that out loud, man. I don't want to say another man that made another man because Pippen had to put that work in too. But
one thing about Pippen when he came here, they used to call him No Pippen Pippen. That's all he did was party. He never took nothing serious. And they were pretty much getting tired of him because Horace Grant developed faster than Scotty. That's why if you go back and look at The Last Dance, when they brought up the migraine headache, just go back and look at that. As soon as that interviewer said that, Jordan rolled his eyes in his head because he knew they had punked Pippen. The only person that was standing with Jordan, willing to fight, was Horace Grant, bro.
Yeah.
And the only reason why we got past Detroit was because of B.J. Armstrong came through because Jordan told him, you got to stop idolizing Isiah because Isiah was his favorite player. I remember all of it because I was an avid reader. We had the role players started to come through. If you notice, Scotty barely played, and he always say we managed to get through Detroit. He barely even played. He was petrified of playing Detroit, bro.
Yeah.
And then I tell people all the time, just go back and look at those series. You will see that the year that it took Scotty till 1991, 92 to even start. He came in 87. Brad Sellers was starting over Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Out of Ohio. We got past Detroit because all the other role players started to step up because Scotty missed so many games due to a migraine. That's when Krause was like, he's not developing. That's what Jordan said, I got him. And that's why I always tell people Jordan is a better on-ball defender than Scotty. Scotty played the lane. When Jordan pressured and made force people to throw errant passes, Scotty was the beneficiary of that.
Well,
That's how Scotty got better.
Some of that is true. Scott, I think they both was really good defenders on and off the ball, and Scotty was a better defender in the post. I just watched a game. I think it was a first round playoff game of the Bulls against the Bullets. And the Bullets came out with a lineup of 7'7" George Mearshine, 6'11" Chris Webber, 6'9" Juwan Howard, 6'7" Calbert Chaney, and Rod Strickland. And Rodman had a real bad knee injury, so he didn't start. He was on the bench. They started Luke Longley, Jason Caffey, who was smaller than Pippen, and Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was guarding Chris Webber in the post. Scottie Pippen can be put anywhere defend. I'm not gonna take nothing away from Scottie as a defender. Scottie was phenomenal as a defender, off the ball and in the post.
He did his thing, but a lot of people misconstrue and think that Scotty came in the way he came in like that.
No, he didn't come in. He didn't come in raw like that. No, you're definitely right about that.
He didn't come in raw like that. So when they say that Jordan didn't make people better, when you listen to Bill Winnington, Will Purdue, they always say Jordan got on us so much in practice, it made the game for us easier.
Yeah.
And that's a way of developing players and making them better. Because like Mike said, if you don't want to play like I play, you don't want to go out and give your all like I did, find another team. Like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And they just knocked Jordan so much. They just knocked him so much, and the man did so much for the league, took the league to a whole nother level. All the NBA players, they know he's a GOAT. They know who Jordan was. And I always tell people, if you go back and look at follow Jordan, because I've been watching Jordan since freshman year in North Carolina. Go back and look at how he played the game in 1982. Then look at how he was playing the game in 1984, the Pan Am game. Then look at how he played the NBA pro players. He dominated those players. Magic, Isaiah, and all of them. So I don't be understanding when people be like, "Oh, Jordan, he was okay. He was just a volume shooter." No, he wasn't. He wasn't just a volume shooter. And they say he was the first volume shooter. No, he wasn't. George Gervin was. George Gervin shot 33, anywhere from 33 to 35 shots a game. He was the first volume shooter that I saw. But they just need to get a man this credit. I've yet to see LeBron James. You made a great point. I've yet to see LeBron James make anybody better. Anybody. I've never seen him do it. Kevin Love was better when he played in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Kyrie. I remember Kyrie didn't even want LeBron James coming back to Cleveland. LeBron James told Kyrie, "This is your team. I'm going to follow your lead." It didn't happen that way. That's when Kyrie started saying he wanted out of Cleveland because LeBron came in and was taking over. People forget all of that, man. But all of it is documented. They just changed the narrative for LeBron. How they say that Jordan, the refs, and all this is like, that's not true. Of course, nobody wants to see a star player of any caliber being slammed on the ground. And I remember when all the owners had a meeting about the Detroit Pistons. Like, we can't take this. They win people all in a growing, pushing them all into the stands, the scoring table. It was ridiculous. They put a stop to that. And Isaiah's team got in because they wasn't that talented.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. So I just want to call in and make that point that, you hitting on every cylinder. Your show is crazy dope. I always tune into it to see what's going on. So I'm just want to wish you much success, my brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call too.
All right, no problem.
All right, now. All right, I'm gonna take one more call, man, and then we out, man. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate all the call-ins, all the comments. This your last chance. Y'all can go ahead and hit that like button right now, man. That's gonna help us out a whole lot, man. So everybody right now hit the like button. Let me see how many likes we got. We should have over at least 350 likes. Let me see how many we got. Oh no, we need to get to 300. We're at 275. We almost there. Everybody hit the like button real quick. Let's get to 300, man. We almost there. We almost got 400 people in here watching, man. And I'm just asking for 300 likes. All four, like, some people watch the show because they don't like the fact that I talk about LeBron a certain way. So if we got 400 people in here, we can't have 100 LeBron fans in here that's not gonna hit the like button. So 400, I'm asking for 300 likes. I think that's really reasonable. 300 is really dope out of 400. So everybody hit the like button real quick. Let's make sure we get these likes up. But I'll take one more phone call, man. One more phone call, and we out, man. Any topic. There can be any topic, man. Just anything. We got about 5 minutes we can chat. Hey, so Friday when we had a full panel, it's gonna be a mix of basketball and football. We definitely gotta discuss the free agent period that just started with the NFL, man. There's a lot of signings that done happened, some trades and all this stuff, man. So we got to discuss all of that. So for everybody who love basketball, we gonna have that for sure. But we're gonna have to get into some of the football as well, man. So hopefully y'all like both sports and whatever the case may be. But invite people that like football, because it seems like a lot of y'all are basketball fans, man. So on Friday, man, we're gonna be here with the full panel. It's gonna be a mixture of NBA and NFL. So it look like no more phone calls coming in. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the show, man. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. Hit the like button. Oh, we do got one more call. Caller from Michigan, what's up? Hey, caller from Michigan, shut YouTube down and so I can't hear the echo.
How you doing?
Yeah, shut YouTube off.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, shut off YouTube.
Hello?
You got to shut YouTube off.
All right, I'm turn my TV down, right? All right.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay.
I still got an echo, big dog. I'm gonna hang up, man. You got to call back without YouTube being on. You just got to listen to me through the
Can you
phone.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
I like to say, man, I like your show, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You're doing real good, man. I won't stop trolling them LeBron fans and them Jordan fans. They don't like to hit that like button.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is, man. I'll see you Friday.
I didn't know I had that many in there though. I mean, it can't be that many.
It was more than that earlier.
Sheesh, man. A lot of LeBron fans in there?
Man, they was crying, man. I had them boys crying. Man, y'all ain't be talking about my man. He ain't around to defend himself.
Oh man. Well, there was in there trying to talk trash about Kobe.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, do you remember Rick Chapman dropped 40 on Jordan too?
yeah.
They don't remember that.
Man, I remember Rex getting Jordan. I remember Kobe getting Jordan. Iverson got Jordan.
Dropped 55 on him, show him the front door.
Yeah. Marbury caught Jordan slipping. Like, hey, look, man, everybody gonna get caught every now and then, man. It's some good ballers out there.
That man dropped 55 points on him and walked him out the door.
Rex was cold, man. I like Rex when he was at Charlotte, but the best Rex Chapman ever was the one that was in Phoenix. Lord have mercy, man. The Rex that had he was balding in the front. Oh man, I don't know if Thunder Dan was there yet, but because Rex,
he was there.
He might have been. Man, it was a playoff game. Rex couldn't miss, man. And he had a couple of game winners, man. Rex was that dude, bro.
I'm gonna take you another one too. Tom Chambers.
Tom Chambers was cold too, man.
Man, he ain't made it to the Hall of Fame yet.
Nah, he probably ain't gonna get in there. Tom Chambers would destroy this league right now.
Oh man.
You know who else would probably destroy this league and would probably be a top 5 player?
Who?
Keith Van Horn.
Oh, at the corner threes too.
Man, Keith Van Horn was cold, man.
Oh, dang, with New Jersey.
He was way before his time though. The 6'11" stretch 4 wasn't really a thing back then yet. Handling the ball and all that stuff too. Nah, it wasn't no thing, man.
I thought he was a small forward.
I mean, he was 6'11" though. And
damn, I didn't know he was that tall.
Yeah, he was 6'11". Played for Utah with Andre Miller.
Like 6'8".
Nah, Keith Van Horn was 6'11", man. Him and Duncan got drafted the same draft, and everybody was talking about how good Duncan and him was. Like,
I remember he was balling like that in Utah in college.
Man, he was cold, man. He was one of my favorite players. Randolph Childress, Keith Van Horn, Rasheed Wallace. They're my favorite college players, man.
Wake Forest.
Yeah, for sure.
Him and Duncan played together.
Yep. And freaking Randolph Childress was the number 1 on Wake Forest. That's how good he was.
Man, the point guard.
Yeah.
He didn't last long. I think Detroit drafted him and he ain't do nothing with him.
Detroit drafted him and he couldn't last, man. He went overseas though and played.
How the hell you let Joe Dumars take your spot?
Well, but they wasn't ready for his style of play in the NBA yet. A point guard, he played like a 2 guard. He was a combo guard. He was like Steph Curry, but you ain't got no place if you can't run point for real in the 90s.
Yeah,
like you can't come in here wanting to take all the shots. We want our 6'6", 6'7", and our post player to take the shots. You can't come in and take 30 shots a game. You know, so
no. I heard earlier you said Rod Strickland was one of your best players back in the day.
Rod Strickland is still my favorite player of all time.
Oh, you take him over Kenny Anderson?
I'm not saying who I think is the best. I'm
No,
just
I know what you're saying. I'm talking about at the time, though.
yeah. I take Rod Strickland over Kenny Anderson.
I don't know, Playboy. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
I'll have you Friday, man.
All right, man. I'll catch y'all on Full Panel Friday, big dog.
All right, thanks for the call, man.
All right, yep. All right, everybody, man. We just hit 2:59, hit 3 hours. That's good time, man. I wanted to get out of here in 2 hours, to be honest with you, but 3 ain't bad. But yeah, I appreciate everybody, man. We catch y'all on Friday with the Full Panel, man. Hit that like button, share this as well. Invite people. If you ain't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We come here. I try to get in here every Tuesday for solo. I missed yesterday because of a conflict. So I got in to do the makeup on the day. But Friday we've been here with the Full Panel. So Tuesday and Friday are the days that we go live. 4:30 is the time. If I can make it at 4:30, I was a little bit late today. But yeah, next week, Tuesday and Friday, but Full Panel Friday. I'll see y'all in a couple of days. Peace.